On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, Arctic Summer World pre-game. And that's about it. There'll be some other stuff in there too, though, so don't tune out. But also, you want to know about them banners, right? Anyway, hi, I'm one of your hosts. I am Mungo Jerry Omega. With me, as always, Jug Band Lucky.
What?
See, when Lucky stepped away is when I brought up Mungo Jerry's In the Summertime. I posted it in the music channel earlier. I don't know, I just thought of it because it's hot.
Very well then. But I hope everyone else is enjoying Fey Grand Order, aka the Summertime Special. And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events with the JP and EA version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should get ready to make a choice.
Yep, it's gonna be interesting. I know some people were asking if I could, bring back our weird factions thing and, get some colors, and I'm like, I could do that? That does sound like a slight pain in the ass, though, just for a 3-week gag. Yes, I could upload their little every Valkyrie's little servant face as an icon and have 3 roles and probably have some kind of bot or script hook to assign it to you and change your name color, but then I'd have to break it down in 3 weeks. So I don't know. Listen, leave your comments, whatever. But I'm not opposed to funny little interactions like that in our community. But also, it seems like slightly more work than necessary for just the funny. You people will be posting what your team allegiance is anyway. But we'll get into that later. I'll see you later. No, I will not.
Souls, Brian.
Yes, I will not miss an opportunity to quote Happy Souls. But we got a few different things to run through. Sorry, clicked my mic off for a sec, rather than have to edit later because I had to clear my throat. I am still coughing a little bit, but I took some meds, so I'm much more relaxed right now. But we still got some phlegm. I should probably swap up what I do with my oily-ass ramen. Anyway, we'll give a second to space that out because this is the part of the show where I thank our patrons. Because this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Adam Hart, Blacklist OG, Call Me Zed, Carlos Dragon, Flice Icebird, Jeremy Vasquez, JDV9000, Just the Fae, Chris Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Rise of Kenji, Ro Robin, Charvor, Sean Pryor, some guy named Bob, and Varian the Crow. Thank you very much for your support, everybody. If you want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies. And it really helps us out and helps me buy cough drops. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Yes, spaced it all out. Okay. That means that it's a time to talk about the next thing in the show notes, which is to check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mesh.
Senpai, 起きてください.
Because it's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, a regular segment for pro tips. The pro tip this week is very simple. The stream for summer is the 17th. Prepare yourself accordingly. Most of you won't have to do anything to prepare other than, maybe marshal your mats, because you've probably already got your Saint Court saved up. Hopefully you didn't have to spend everything on Arc. And it's a Fuyuki clear, so you're probably good. You will not be afforded this courtesy next year or the following year. But we'll talk more about that in a second. But yeah, that's the only thing I think that's really, pro-tippable right now, other than just, general reminder about hitting your rank ups and advanced quests. Get a fun time in there. Seashells are a couple of advanced quest CEs. But this should be a pretty easy summer to get into, and we'll be talking about that more later. But first, it's time to run down our show list of things. And first, Brackets on the Throne, a regular achievement topic. Half of this was done when we streamed last weekend anyway, but I can confirm that all 4 of my new servants, Jufu, Archetype Earth, Arjuna Altar, Koyan of Dark, all smiles protected, all max leveled. It was very easy during triple suck chance. And that's it.
For me, I'm going to take a slightly different tactic, and instead of trying to remember everyone whose smiles I did protect, let's just say who I have left. Who is Roland, Diarmid, Charlemagne, Jiniko, and Ark. Everyone else smiles protected. 3 of those, the Sabers, they're not done, only for the fact that they all need hero proofs. Which leads me into not all the world, but damn close. I ran out of hero proofs. Again. This is after buying all the ones in the Pure Prism shop. I'm like, why do you guys need so many fucking hero proofs all of a sudden? What happened to my giant-ass stockpile that I had? Where is it gone? What have you done with it?
We wrapped back around. Sadly, proofs are not in the setup for the next event, but we'll keep an eye out for future stuff. I do believe there are some proof CEs in the advanced quest, so it's possible you could get your Fiarmon.
I could get my Fuhrman, but I'm trying to work on other things, like leveling and then rank ups and interludes and advanced quests.
But if you don't got the proofs, you can't do the levels. For some, anyway. But what you can do is your master missions. Which brings us to, did you finish your master missions? So, to complete your master missions this week, you need to put an archer and then a rider in your party 5 times. Those are 2 separate missions. Defeat 3 servants with a chaotic alignment, and then 15 each of enemies with the humanoid, wild beast, and demonic traits. So, basically, do your dailies, do some rank ups, maybe do some advanced quests, do something. You'll get it. Just, make sure to hit an archer and a rider. I mean, everybody's that way with Bones. There is a reason why we have jokes about Mr. Bones' Wild Ride in this fandom. I'm sure Summer Ibuki needs more bones, probably.
Actually, I think she doesn't, if I remember correctly.
I'll double check. It would be a departure, because usually the Shuten Pokemon tree of servants need evil bones. But I'm not actually sure. We'll double check. They may have been nicer. She probably does fucking shells, though.
Let's see.
Also, this is as we're leaving, did you finish your master missions? This is a good time to bring it up as any. There will probably be some sort of Summer Wanted. I know you guys like your Good Luck Charm, your Catalyst. I'd appreciate if you would verbally out loud, if you're listening to this episode, make some noise in the comments or on our Discord about that part, because Wanteds are very hit or miss in their view counts. Art did real good, but Tamatomo did dog shit. Admittedly, part of that was because it was a week late because I was dying, but, the video, super did not, it's got, less than 200 views. Which is for shame, because Tamatomo is cool. But the Summer Wanteds are also, despite the fact that I know the Summer Servants are usually super in demand, the Wanteds do like shit, because I'm not going to make 3 different videos for 3 SSRs that will be just their guides. Unless you guys are okay with that, YouTube probably wouldn't mind if I put out 3 videos that were 10 minutes long, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, give me some feedback. I require your energy, people at home. Give me some juice about that, because we'll usually for the past couple of years I've just been doing a big Summer Servant breakdown. We could just do the 3 SSRs as a highlight. This year I could do them as 3 separate videos. God knows, but it's definitely one of those things where it's admittedly, Lady Avalon's a little special, so maybe we can put some extra juice in there. But talking about Summer Scotty and Summer Ibuki, it's just look, it's Ibuki, but Summer, she will now loop your arts. Just thinking of the fucking Simpsons quote, I just think she's neat.
True, but looking at Summer Ibuki here, no, she doesn't need bones. She needs 9 black talos, 9 lamps, 34 shells, and 10 Oni hearts per skill. And
sorry,
she
you
just
said the phrase 32 shells, and I just went
34.
34, yeah, we're doing our math wrong.
And then she only needs 5 lamps, 6 tallow, 9 claws, and 5 Oni lantern hearts for
okay, so we switch it up to the Oni lanterns. Interesting. Okay. All right. But yes, like I said, we've got several days before the event goes live, and then you've got about a week before all the banners hit. So let me know your thoughts on Wanted formatting, chat. God, yes. Sorry, Dax and Patron Chat had a great comment. Let me convert my mats to other mats. That would be so based. Spend hero proofs like literal fucking arcade tokens for me, or void dust. Crunch void dust into something useful. Anyway, let's move on to our actual skelograms. It will not take too long to get through them, though we have a few things to comment about. But for JP, we do actually have an update. Because JP is running their summer 2024 clearance campaign. From the 10th of July to the 21st of July, so just over 10 days. And they have specified the new summer in JP will require the Ordeal Call prologue cleared. So not the actual chapters, but the prologue of Ordeal Call, which you can only do after clearing Lost Belt 7. And it will be mid-August. The wiki says August 14th. I don't know if you've already got a stream scheduled or just that's people yapping, but mid-August. It's what they've said for sure. So it'll be after their anniversary. That means we will assuredly, during FGO Fez, see some NPs, which will be nice. But yeah, you're going to need story content cleared, which is why they're running a support campaign. So log in for lots of rewards. They've got like EXPs, foes, stuff like that. There are some new limited master missions. During this time period, we're running quarter AP through LB7. So, super discount on them AP. You've got a Leyline Stone reward for logins and also an MP shop to, once again, even more so speed up your cruising, your Newman. They're running a double suck chance during this time period, and they are also running banners for... It's funny, actually. It's not even anniversary time again in JP, but we're running banners for Ash and for everybody else in that summer. So once again, reminding you that I know she showed up at anniversary, but Ash is also definitely just a summer servant. But let me confirm the banners to remind everybody who's involved in that, because it'll be... Let me check news desk. Yeah, so the pattern is we've got standalone Ash banners, we've got then Summer Castoria, Suzuka, Chloe banners, and then the Summer Tamlin triangle as well. Belu, Bargast, Cupriestus. So all of those are running for several of those days, having a happy little fun time, getting their kind of like rerun banners in early, which I don't mind. Like obviously, depending on how things are for us and where they put the new summer over here, it might not line up that way. But while people are probably getting a little tapped on St. Courts after Draco Tiamat reruns, at the same time, you know that Anniversary is usually a big infusion of St. Courts, right? So putting the summer banners to be like, hey, you're going to get a lot more St. Courts when Anniversary procs anyway, so you can go ahead and take a rerun of those banners. Not terrible. We'll have to see how it shakes out for us, though, because, once again, our version of 2 years from now in NA is going to be super crunched. God knows how it'll feel. I really hope they find the space to not put the 2 reruns back-to-back like they did in JP. Holy shit. That is going to be so mind-numbing. But yeah, no. So that's the new summer setup in JP. We'll probably be getting our, Anniversary pre-campaign when this ends. Does anybody know the dates for FGO Fez this year? Patrons, help me out. Yeah, we could be seeing April and May. August 3rd through 4th. Okay, thank you. So a little late this year, but I guess that's just the weekends that line up. Okay. So yeah, we still got plenty of time before news kicks in, but we'll probably get some kind of other mini event or something. And then NA news is also very simple. We're still coming off the tail end of all of our Anniversary business, wrapping up our rank ups, running through our side banners, of which there have been so many special side banners if you've been wanting to dip into your St. Quartzes. I believe your Destiny Order Summon is ending soon, so they've been running some promo on that if you didn't get in yet. But yeah, everybody was a little scared when they said that summer would be the middle of this month. Luckily, you don't got to worry too much because they have confirmed the Summer Arctic World stream will be the 17th. We'll get a Caldea Broadcasting Light, I believe. So you've got about 5 days as of the time I'm recording this. Yeah, probably 5-ish days, depending on hours and time zones. We'll be doing a pregame after the flip, which is also code word for mailbag. But yeah, that's all we got right now. Expect more later. And yeah, a light news day, but we've taken about 15 minutes, so that means it'll be time to get into mailbag. But I'm going to take a brief intermission before we get into that real quick.
Righto.
So you won't know anything, chat, but you'll see mailbag in a sec.
Well, with Omega Bag, that means it is time for us to get into this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag segment, where we read your comments and respond accordingly. This week we have 6 of them, so without further ado, let us get right into it. With our first one from Monster Girl Aficionado, who says, "Dear Lucky Omega, no question this week, just sending good juju and wishing you well. Keep up the great work. P.S. Scree."
Scree indeed.
Scree indeed. All hail the great serpent. But thank you very much. I hope everything is going well on your side as well. Moving right along, this next one comes from Cute Valkyrie's Art Squad Captain. I think I tried to combine Valkyrie and Arts there for a second.
My favorite Sega game, Valkarts.
Just type in Valkarts and let me see if there's anything. Okay, no, there isn't. But they say, "Hello, Lucky and Omega. With Juju coming out with the recent anniversary, I've come to realize that many of my favorite servants are the ones I can see casually hanging out with friends casually hanging out with like friends such as Zuju and Castoria. Are there any servants you feel that way towards? Anyway, and also best of luck. Also, best of luck with the onslaught of summer banners and your singular Valkyrie choice. Servants I see myself hanging out with, like, as a friend and stuff. There's probably several of them. My friend Mandricardo, Blackbeard.
My friendo.
Like, I appreciate those two vibes. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of servants that we just hang out with. It happens a lot in story. It's funny, though. I don't know if I would think of Jufu as a casually hang out with friends servant. She strikes me as more of a, flop on your couch and be like, "Oh, you're still here? Fine, then we can do something." Ozukabehime would camp in Discord VC for 7 hours while clearing Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. No, I'm not going to say that. Sorry, I had a cursed thought to challenge chat for engagement. I'm like, I don't really want to derail that conversation. I'll put that one in my pocket for later.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember a servant's name, and I'm forgetting it because it's freaking always hard. It's our old man who has more jokes than you would realize. Sitting man, fucking.
Oh, Yagyu Munenori.
Yes, Munenori. That's what it was. I knew the Yagyu part, but I'm just like, what was the last part? That is the person I would like to hang out with.
He'd be pretty good at it, yeah.
He likes just to go like sightseeing and go eat food and hang out and do stuff. I'm like, yeah, I want to hang out with that dude.
That's one of those things that I don't think a lot of people think about, but that is actually part of like the classic like high class samurai thing is, yes, you study the blade, but also you have a lot of other free time. And what do you do with it? You look at nature, compose poetry, probably drink some tea, water the streets, eat some food.
And again, Munenori does have like a sense of humor, and I just enjoy that about him like a lot.
There's quite a few servants I think who have kind of an odd sense of humor you don't expect right away. Munenori is definitely one of them, but I think you see a few of them in like other events or like side scenes like Valentine's and stuff. Though now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, because I'm thinking about when did we really see Munenori kind of being weird? I think it was Summer 5 was summer camp, but with like Summer Tomoe and stuff, where I can't tell whether he was genuine or fucking with her about the VR saber, but I think it was a little of both. But I'm just like, man, where's my Yagyu summer costume, FGO?
Well, that's like the thing with Yagyu, because he was also the one who's all like, yes, the sword beauties, yes, this is totally a thing. I did not just come up with this right now.
I didn't just make this up sitting here, okay? Never mind, I have to come up with justifications for some sort of weird summer sword tournament.
No, that's great. But no, those are the kind of people that I like hanging out with. Someone who actually has something to do and usually has a sense of humor about it. And it's like, Lucky is what's the, I want to say unabashed about his waifuism, so it's very hard for me to see female characters that I like without some sort of romantic interest, especially if the servant himself seems to reciprocate it in some way. It's like it's hard for me just to consider like Ned Hime just a friend, because I'm like, oh no, girl, I'm into you. So it's kind of hard. But for a lot of dude servants, I'm all like, yeah, no, bro, let's just chill. But I think that's enough on that. Yeah, no, Brobeard, Blackbeard, top of my fucking list. Let's roll, man. Aw, man, I can't wait till Hakata Shingen gets in, because then he'll have the car and we can totally be like, get in, loser. Be like, yas. Okay, so moving on. This next one comes from the Tyrant King finally getting his commas as his third level 120. Well, congratulations. I don't know if I actually have enough goddamn servant coins for that. I actually gotta double check those numbers.
Yeah, it's a rough process, Good for you. That's a steep climb. I don't have anybody at 120 because I don't think I have enough NP levels for any like SSRs I would want to raise that far.
A question. Hey guys, my question is 2 separate questions for y'all. So, Lucky, which new anime have you liked the most so far? For Mega, since Blue Eyes got his support revealed, what do you think Red Eyes needs to be a contender? I feel that's a little English, a little bit there. With the other DM decks. Anyways, that's it for me. Sending good vibes your way. Wah. And hope you have a great evening. I have been trying some new anime. I don't know if there's anything particularly like the most. I still need a bit of time. I did check out. Yeah, so I did check out Shika Noka. Wait, was it Shika Noka 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 Koshantan? Yeah, Shika Noka 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 Koshantan. Okay, I had to remember it, and that is funny. Another one that I did like and I am interested about is Quality Assurance in Another World, because it was a kind of a hard hitting first episode. That was good.
Sorry, I'm gonna completely derail, but I was tabbing over to Twitter real quick. And I saw somebody has posted about 4 hours ago, days since classified military documents have been leaked in War Thunder 0. I can't believe it. Did it actually happen again? Do your own research. But yes, Dear Anime. Of course, I tab back. The Patreons are fucking cooking.
They're posting Dear.
Yeah.
As is right and proper.
I believe, I haven't watched it myself. I have to double check where the fuck it even is. But I believe Plus Size Elf has debuted. Big fan of that manga.
Alright, let me just turn on my PS5 here real quick so I can check my history. Of course it's High Dive. I have a High Dive.
Shit.
I have a High Dive substation. I just never... Again, this is the thing that I think bugs me the most about High Dive. Not the High Dive itself as a service, but the fact that High Dive doesn't have a PS5 app. So I have to watch it on my computer.
I have to double check where it's done, but I think, isn't High Dive through somebody? I don't remember. Whatever, okay. That means I'll have to support the artist some other way. Maybe I'll just buy the remaining volumes of the manga I don't have.
Oh, okay. Now that I pull up my history, I can remember fucking titles.
Listen, I'm not gonna fucking harsh your buzz. It's like the Ashika Noko anime is there's deliberate effort in it being squiggly.
But the Osan Newbie Adventurer, Trained to be Invincible, also hilarious. The Stronger Magician and the Demon Lord is a Human, pretty interesting. Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. That's probably one of the better ones this core, but unfortunately, just like we're getting oversaturated with isekai, we are getting oversaturated with what's the term I want to say? High school romances at the same time. I'm like, we need to branch out.
Yeah, that's probably pretty cyclical. For a long time, this was, probably 15, 20 years ago. 20 might be a little yeah, maybe a little, but definitely in the 15 range was that was the time period where man, there's this fucking harem shit anime everywhere. It's because market is popular. That did eventually die out. What people called harem shit and moe blob anime went down, and then it seems like the more I don't know. I don't even know what I want to call it. I guess just simple high school romances, because if I understand most of the ones in the genre, most of them are kind of, monogamous. They're kind of straightforward.
Well, yeah, they're monogamous, but they're also real, while they are cute and they may give you diabetes, nothing really ever really happens in them. It's just, we're going to go to school. These two are going to be cute at each other.
They're very comfy, but they're not in terms of literary genre, they don't got any teeth, they don't got anything to say. It's just hey, look at this relationship. Isn't it functional? Isn't that cool? And you're just yeah, no, it is cool, but yeah, it's definitely one of those things where yes, the thing is, when you have a lot of saturation, you get some real good shit. There are actually some isekai that have real teeth, and also I think there's enough of them in the genre that you get parody stuff like Konosuba, and you also just get some really good elements. But then it's it's all chasing whatever's popular right now.
Mm-hmm. But also very interesting, very exciting for me is we're getting Monogatari series off and Monster Season, basically the kind of after story of the Monogatari series, following a lot of the heroines around. Super excited about that. Watched the first episode, and it's peak Shaft energy. Is it actually being done straight up by Shaft? It might not be. Let me check. It looks like Shaft. It feels like Shaft.
The anime market and the way we're doing with localization and shit is still a real pain in the ass. I've seen some clips, but I've heard very little about the fact that there's a fucking Code Geass sequel anime coming out. Because it's in America, it's on Hulu. So it's fucking this distribution shit is killing me.
Oh, thank God it is being done by Shaft.
Woo. Looks like Shaft, smells like Shaft.
Must be Shaft.
Actually, that's a good question. Did we have we had a proper reconstruction of the magical girl genre after Madoka? I think we have. I don't know it off the top of my head.
No, we have. we still do get magical girl shows, but they kind of get lost.
I mean, it's true. It's one of those things where, like, and this I think is an argument I agree with. To get off on the anime tangent a little, it's important because our audiences are discerning anime fans who seek animated adaptations of visual novels for adults. But also, like, this is a thing where like I've heard people talk about, like, on, like, you would say both ends of the taste spectrum. People be like, oh, yeah, man, anime's so simple. Or like, man, when will I get an anime that doesn't have quite so much fan service in it? And it's all just like, you're watching anime aimed at, like, 12 to 15-year-old boys. Or, you know, some of the girl genres is, you know, young ladies in that time block. It's like, the point is for this to be like a media virtue where we get, you know, marketing merch and stuff into you know, teens and preteens in Japan. Japan has gotten a lot better about understanding they have an international audience. They're still not necessarily, especially with a lot of their, like, old school franchises, going to cater to an international audience. It's like some people who are like, man, when is fucking God, I blanked for a second. Like, when is Kamen Rider going to have a season that's for, you know, the international diehards? Probably never.
I can't remember who did this interview, but there is definitely some sentiment in, like, the Japanese, like, I mean, I think it was more of the manga scene, who were talking about, like, we should not cater to Western influences just because they have a problem with it. And I'm just like, yeah.
I mean, yes, it's definitely one of those things, but also it is, on the other hand, like, that's one of those moments where also you got to be like, well, then, buddy, you got to be willing to lose out on the market. Because this is a thing we've heard about from, like, video game teams. Like, Square Enix has straight up said, hey, we can't make video games just for Japan anymore. We don't make enough money doing that. So, it's you know, not that I think that, and this is another whole separate conversation, but, like, the almost, like, cult-like devotion to the shareholder, to the share price go up is bad and dumb, and it's hurt a lot of industries, and will continue to do so. Everybody, hope you enjoy your AI crap. But at the same time, it's definitely, like, Japan does have a shrinking, aging population, so, like, depending on how your market slice is, you are going to run into problems if you're not willing to be open to an international audience. I just kind of, I think, agree with the fundamental sentiment not to necessarily change your output one way or another based on an international audience, because you shouldn't change your output based on a local audience either. You're the artist. You should create the art you want to create. And if your art is dumb, fine. Let it be dumb. It's your art, you know? But from a purely capitalistic standpoint, you know, you got to be careful. Yeah, accessible's good, and that's something that I think even some of the talking about, like, what studio owns licensing, right? Like, what fucking streaming service it's on. That's something I didn't even think the Japanese creators have control over, right? But yeah, it's an interesting one. But it's definitely, like, I think a lot of people, you know, pick up on anime and manga when they're young, when they're in the target demographic, and then they don't realize that, like, the anime is not necessarily just that. Like, you can still enjoy, you know, shonen stuff, but if I do see a lot of people who are like, man, I wish anime tropes were different, and it's like, have you tried broadening your horizons a little? It's like video games. I still saw people be like, man, video games suck, they're terrible, man, look at this piece of shit Modern Warfare game that just came out, man, look at this Fortnite season pass, and it's like, hi, have you tried looking at a game that's not Call of Duty? Good games are out there. Top-rated 2 video games this year. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Tsukihime. You know, broaden your horizons. Any other anime titles with some broad horizons? I know you're a man of eclectic and broad culture, Lucky.
Oh, yeah, I had some, 15 minutes ago when you started talking and did not stop.
Sorry, that one kind of bubbled up. Not sure where that came from.
I had several points I wanted to bring up, but every time I open my mouth to try and get in, you just keep going.
Sometimes I feel this is why we need the physical studio, because Lucky needs to be able to give me the hand side. We can't do that in the Discord VC.
I'm not gonna get a hand. I'm gonna get a Nerf gun.
That would also work.
I'm just gonna get No, we both get Nerf gun pistols. Just anyone talking to them, just shoot them.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of a version of you've yeed your last haw, but it's like you've used the last of your time, partner. Bang.
No, but like, I I had a couple points, but I can only remember really one. Well, no, two really. So the first off is like you're talking about video games and stuff, and like there's a saying from I don't know if it's one of our preferred, but in the media game developers, Arrowhead Studios, they specifically say, a game for everyone is a game for no one. So you have to be careful with trying to market things to such a broad appeal. I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment, but I can understand it.
Yeah, it's
nope, you shut up.
I'm thinking. Go
on. Because like I said, you do want your game to apply to your target audience, and you want to probably go a little bit outside that as well. You want your game to appeal to people because that's how you make money. And that's the thing about like creating anime and manga too, is views equal money. And so sometimes, even if you are trying to represent some sort of artistic vision or value, if you are trying to represent artistic vision or value and make money off of this, you have to consider who you're selling to. So sometimes, yes, you do have to go, what do the people want? You see this a lot on Twitter, actually, of people will create, fabulous OC, gives them a story. No one gives a damn. They draw some fan art of a character and give them some big Hadoopa Doopas. All of a sudden, they get super fucking popular. It's one of those it's one of those things. So yes, it's good to create what you want, but also you do have to pay attention if you were trying to sell it to an audience. So that was those 2 points. And when we're talking about magical girls, I was actually going to bring this up. One of the ones that I am watching and I do actually find hilarious is what's the name of it here? The magical girl and the evil lieutenant used to be arch enemies, which is I don't want to necessarily say it's a parody or a reconstruction. It's more of just a interesting aside of a magical girl and an evil lieutenant of the evil lieutenant falling in love. And it's interesting because I was thinking about it. I don't think I've necessarily seen like straight up like magical girls, like classic magical girl or even Sentai shows, really. Usually I'm finding some weird parallel or parody in them. Like World After Love Domination. No, Love After World Domination, where it's a Sentai member and an evil lieutenant falling in love. People got romance on the brain, really.
Yeah. I think there's reasons for that. And I think, though, in general, the reason probably why you see more of that, like, parallel or, like, side content is like I said, I'm pretty sure Japan's still making, like, Pretty Cures and stuff like that. Like, they're still hitting their classic magical girl franchises. It's just that, like, that is speaking of the marketing, that is a genre, a medium, a style that is marketed to actual, literal young ladies in Japan and old heads who have been watching forever. Like, that's it. So, it's just one of those things where, like, if you're not, like, part of the demographic or you were already baked in, what are you going to do? Also, yeah, I will say, I think you, to go back, one more statement, pre-magical girl, talking about the game dev thing, I think you did actually formulate the sentence I was going to try and make anyway, just as well. Like you said, I don't 100% agree with Arrowhead that, like, you can make games that have broad appeal, but I think you're right that, like, you should make the game you want to make and have it appeal to the audience you want it to appeal to, and then, that can also make timeless classics. But yeah, it's you need to know what the game is about.
Yeah. You should not compromise your game for the sake of the audience, but you should not compromise your audience for the sake of the game.
Yeah.
But speaking of anime, a couple more that I've watched. I don't know if I'm actually going to watch it because I beat the game, so I already know what's going to happen, so it's kind of weird to watch it, but Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, that anime's out.
Neat.
So, that's cool. And My Wife Has No Emotion also is out. Been watching that. I read the manga for a bit. It's a little weird. The basic premises of it is a guy who's been living alone for a long time suddenly proposes to his household appliance robot, who basically just cooks and does dishes for him. And she accepts, and now they're going to have like a married relationship. And it's kind of weird, but also kind of sweet. Some people think the manga tries to be five heads about certain topic and falls flat, but I think it's a very interesting take on, transhuman relationships. I think, yes, that's what I want to say.
Yeah,
like I said,
that sounds like a question of like I'm not gonna get in the weeds of that without reading the series. And if
Yeah.
if a mangaka wants to like what if you're a solo mangaka writing like a weekly or a monthly, what better place is there for you to fucking work out some shit? I mean, that's art, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yes, thank you, Chris, for mentioning it. Yeah, we're doing something with Magical Knight Rayearth. Yeah.
But I think the one that is probably at the top of my list right now, because Aaron is no longer allowed in another world, which is an isekai, but again, it's not necessarily a deconstruction, but I think it's a deconstruct, like, excuse me, I have to gather my words on this. So it's based off of Natsume Soei's no longer allowed to be human, and features like a tortured artist from like the 1920s, but it's given the isekai flavor. And I read the manga, and I think it's really good and neat because it's, again, you don't have the typical isekai protagonist. He does have a couple girls fawning over him, but he's more interested in finding this other girl and finishing his double suicide pact with her. And, has no strength and is just an author. So it's very good. I would unfortunately, my description of it does not give it justice, but if you want like something of a more non-standard isekai than what has been shoveled out over the several years, I would definitely recommend that one.
Hey, Internet.
Same with
you possess Google.
Yeah. Same with quality assurance in Another World. This one is interesting. It seems like we are using the trapped in a game setting, except this guy is trying to solve bugs in a virtual world and is hoping that will eventually get him out one day. So, as a very interesting first episode, also recommends that as well. My Dear Friend Nokotan, which is the actual name, what the translated name of what I said earlier, is quite funny. Gives me very Dropkick on My Devil vibes, if you guys know that one. And let's see here. Anything else that really stuck out to me? I haven't seen anything like this course so far that just makes me go, nah. I'm usually good at picking out what I do and don't like immediately from the outset. So if I usually start it, I'm usually willing to finish it. Let me see. Is there anything that's come out that I haven't got to check out yet? Because unfortunately, since I've been so into Dawn Trail, I've really fallen behind in a lot of. I think, oh yeah, no, I need to check out Pseudo Harem, and I need to check out Failure Frame, and maybe a couple others.
Yeah, gaming's still been pretty intense, so I haven't been keeping up on my TV or anime at all. Okay, now I'm gonna.
Okay,
yap,
but that was my yapping.
Yeah, so I probably shouldn't have gotten so deep in the anime question. We got a lot. Like I said, I see comments from people. They make me think things, and I don't. When I'm reading Twitter or Reddit, I don't usually regurgitate my thoughts back onto Twitter or Reddit.
Nope.
So sometimes the intrusive thoughts catch up with me. So Red Eyes. First of all, we haven't seen all the Blue Eyes support. There's 4 more new cards in that structure deck, I think. But honestly, what Red Eyes would need to be competitive is we would need a fusion spell that wasn't designed 10 years ago. And that's really it. 10 years ago, Red Eyes Fusion was a crazy good spell, and in fact, I'm pretty sure it's still on the OCG ban list. But literally, that's all that Red Eyes would need to be better would be if they made a new fusion spell that wasn't so dog shit, because Red Eyes Fusion is now terrible 10 years later. Like in Master Duel in the OCG, they don't let you play Dark Dragoon, so like maybe they could use another boss monster, but the stuff they're doing with like Dark Dragoon as an Omni and the new version of regular Red Eyes Metal, the new Metal Morph guy, he's like an Omni. That's all right. That's okay. Like probably some more level 7 Dark Dragon stuff to make more like Dragon Link combos better would work. Maybe some more rank 7 Xyz, but like really they just need an engine that does something. I feel like we're trying to like solidify it, but the main problem is that Red Eyes has had like 8 waves of support and has had 5 different gimmicks, so they need a boss monster that doesn't fucking die to everything, and we need to stop like tacking on these burn effects that can only be once per duel, and just like they need extra juice. Red Eyes Meteor Dragon is cool. Red Eyes Soul like works as a Red Eyes Fusion searcher, but also Red Eyes Fusion sucks ass. That's my TED talk. Tune in every Tuesday for more Yu-Gi-Oh nonsense. That's all we got. Also, they could probably use a field spell that does something. because they don't have one of those. Their version of Eternal Soul or Eternal Light is already really good. Return of the Red Eyes actually pluses you when your opponent blows it up, unlike the way those two back row cards work. So just give them a field spell that does the thing. That's actually it. We're good there.
All right, so finally we'll move on. Oh god, that's right. Another for the Hayamin alliance. Saria Hayami is also the voice of Yotsugi Ononoki in Monogatari. She's doing a lot of work this core.
Getting that paper.
She is. But moving on. The next one comes from Sweating in the Sweltering Summer. Nice alliteration. Howdy, Lucky to Meg. I got a small cool front end, so it's a nice 98 degrees, 36 degrees Celsius. And over the past 2 weeks, that has been 100 plus degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees plus Celsius. So it got me thinking, and I'm sure you've already answered this at least once in the many years I've been listening to, but I wanted to ask it anyway. What do y'all do to beat the heat? P.S. May your summer rolls be blessed. I know I'm making plans to roll the Summer 1 banner, so at least. So I wish you luck to you both now.
Yes, that's
so the way I beat the heat is I turn on the air conditioner.
Yeah, that's the short one.
Before the air conditioner, I was a big fan of open windows and fans. Air circulation always important, and lots of hydration. Drink a lot of water.
Drink water if it's cool. That helps. I have occasionally taken cold showers when it's really hot. When you're like, man, I'm fucking sweaty and gross, and I gotta wash off. But if I make it a hot or even a lukewarm shower, I will fucking die. Cold showers, they work. But yeah, the AC is my universal solution. And then it was asking the extra questions. Well, what do you do when your AC doesn't work? Well, when God strikes you down, no, you just do like you said, crack open all your fucking windows. In Florida, we have screens in every window because it's a swamp or an ocean swamp. And you just fucking die. Whenever I've had power outage, it's crack all the windows, open her up, sit in the dark, sit somewhere shady and read. I don't usually I've had sensitive skin a lot of my life. I think I probably still have sensitive skin. I'm just finally maybe getting over some of it. So I'm not really one for strip down to my boxer shorts, my underoos, and go shirtless. You can cool down that way, but often I find that to be itchy. My back and my front skin is not used to being touching so many surfaces that are not t-shirts. Oh, also, I can usually count the number of days I'm not wearing shorts and t-shirt on one hand. It's another great one to cope with the heat.
If I'm not wearing, if I am outside and I'm just chilling, sometimes I will get the bucket of water and just put my feet in it. That usually works pretty good too.
Very advanced technique. Fill containers with ice. You got some ice or some ice blocks. I have definitely, wet a handkerchief and put it upon my forehead like I'm a feverish orphan child in the Victorian era. Just in general, get some water on you. Water is a great thermal conductor. There's a reason why we have water cooling for computers these days. It'll shed your body heat. If you just dab some on you and let it evaporate, that's why you sweat. Great natural way to cool off. And once again, drink plenty of water. Also, just in general, don't be in the sun. Even if, like I said, you don't got AC in your house, crack your windows, open your blinds. Do not sit in direct sunlight. The sun is a deadly laser.
Sun is a deadly laser.
Wear sunglasses. Wear sunscreen. Wear a hat. Preferably, even if it looks dorky, wear a full head hat, not just a ball cap. You gotta protect your neck too, because what doesn't what doesn't make you feel cool? Having a sunburn. Here you go. There's Lucky Omega's sun tips. Oh, I remembered what I was going to say earlier also. They said their PS, and I was like, there was something there. It's going to be a funny thing, because Lucky's not going to roll until the second banner. That's 4 days, probably, depending on how exactly they want to run it, after the first one. So that won't have happened yet by the time we record the next show. But the first banner should happen, because that's 5 days from now. So it's a funny one you got to look forward to, chat. I guess you gotta stay subscribed and keep watching for at least 2 weeks.
Oh no, whatever would you have to do? All right, hi. But this next one comes from David. who says, Do you guys read and comics or webtoons? Writing from the line of the book signing for the Unordinary series. Yes, I do read. I had to read Tornado to read this. Wild.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they probably meant any. They're saying they're phone posting in a queue, so like. Fair.
I know it's fair. It's fair, but still, I'm making that joke, and no one can stop me. But I kind of read webtoons. I like to read Korean webtoons on occasion. I find some of them quite hilarious, even if they're usually not in my particular lane. Lucky usually likes a lot of romance and harem in the stories he reads, just in general, because that's what I like. But there's still like several Korean like webtoons. I'm like, no, this is rad. Like World's Greatest Estate Developer, fucking rad. I love that one. Lloyd's Face are the fucking best. The best. I should go link it in our anime manga again. Just be like, read it.
Yeah, I'm not, never gotten into the webtoon thing specifically, which if you don't know, that is actually defined as a separate format. It originated in Korea, obviously, and it's, basically, it seems like the short way to put it is, it's web comics, but for your phone.
Well, yeah, they're designed that they're basically one long continuous script, so you read them, via scrolling down on your phone.
Yeah, they're designed to be phone compatible, which I think is a fair cop. Because while I am not a webtoon reader, I was, when I was much younger, a big webcomics reader, and yeah, those guys could never agree on a standard format because computer monitors.
Yep.
We were unbound from the newspaper print format, so you had everything from the classic, 4-panel strip to, other existential weird things. But yeah, I read a lot of webcomics back in the day. Most of the webcomics I read, I think, have finished, and those that don't, I occasionally will go back every so many months and catch up. I don't really follow daily, but that used to be what I did every morning. Every morning I would wake up, boot up my computer, and instead of checking Twitter, I would check daily updates for 5 different webcomics. Big fan of Bob and George. 8-Bit Theater, a classic. Your GP or your HP. Used to read questionable content back in the day. I'm pretty sure that guy's still working. I do occasionally check in and see what's up with Gunnar Craig Court. That guy's a big slow roller though. Beautiful art though. As for more I don't know if asking for comics, you mean webcomics specifically or broader, print comics. Nah, I don't really... there's a couple of specific, styles I've read, but I feel like my personal style is I wasn't bit by the, American-style comic books bug early enough, and just the way comics are handled is just, weird to me, with, so, okay, you got, monthly series, but then sometimes we just cancel that series and we start a different series, and you got crossovers. I don't know. I just never was in that format. But I've read some individual works before.
No, when it comes to American comics, I've never really been into them. They always seem so all over the place. There's constant retcons and alternate continuities and crossovers. There's 5 different people working on 5 different storylines all at once. I'm just like, I can't, guys. I can't.
Then when you're, even if they're still advertised as one series, when you switch editors halfway through, they decide they hate one of the characters and they go away. Yeah, it's American comics is a weird format. I much prefer to, honestly, before that also got way too big for its own britches and got kind of mega-minded, I actually used to appreciate how the MCU would adapt, comic book stories. I mean, they're not really that much like FGO. FGO is very consistent. It's pretty well edited. I think they were less consistent in earlier days when they cared less, but I think FGO has brand managers who are actually managing the brand. I don't actually I've read a lot of stories about editors in chief at DC and Marvel over the years. Some of that shit's crazy.
FGO doesn't take a person from one story and then completely change what they did so they can make it fit their story.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about having servants. You can be yeah, they were in this conflict, but this is a different conflict, so they don't remember that conflict. So this is all new stuff.
Yeah, Fate in Nasuverse in general is Nasu wrote his own rules to be open-ended enough to, because I feel like Nasu knew he would want to tell what ifs and alternate timeline stories, and so we wrote open-ended so we don't have to work stuff. Saber sometimes remembers stuff. Sometimes she doesn't. That's that. I always say this. I do think the Nasuverse has its own writing quirks of people asking questions of yo, is this a Tsukihime or a Fate type world? I feel like as time has gone on, that matters less and less. It's posited that Archetype Earth's third ascension is hypothetically what she would be if she appeared in FGO, but also it's But should we even have Archetype Earth in a Fate timeline where we can summon servants? Isn't that not that's supposed to work? Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't actually matter. It's just all, stuff and stuff. But sometimes we actually answer the question of like, oh yeah, no, this is like, like normal summon Saber. This is after Fate Stay Night, so she like died and went to the throne. Yeah, that's something I think in general manga and other Japanese mediums are a lot more comfortable with. Right, is the rule of cool storytelling. It makes a lot more in there, but the way Western comics are is like, I feel like maybe more so even than in previous years, but I feel like a lot of comics like try and sell you really hard on continuity when there's not actually any continuity, because in 6 months they'll just decide that this story arc was terrible, and they will, if they don't outright retcon it, they will just fucking ignore it, So yeah, I like curated adaptations of comic book characters. I've never really been a big fan of comic books, but like, you get me some solid animated adaptations, We all know the score. Justice League, Batman, Teen Titans, good shit. There have been several good Spider-Man cartoons. I never watched it, but I think there was some like in the past like 15-ish years, there was some good Avengers cartoons people liked. Static Shock also really good, though I'm pretty sure I have to double check. What I thought was Static a animated original character and they like backported him into the comics, or did he have a comic first?
I don't know.
I think he was animated original, and then DC was like, shit, dude, this guy's great. We got to put him in stuff. I feel like we've asked the specific question about Static Shock before. Yeah, Varen is Varen in our Patreon chats basically said what my issue with American comic storytelling is. X-Men just got done with a run that started off really great until the guy at the head left, and then it got really mixed and the ending rushed. It's almost like 1993. Yeah, okay, so Static was in comics first. Damn. But like, one of those moments of like, you can, because you're constantly producing this serialized work, you can like have a really good start and then bobble it at the end because something happened and people didn't want to write it anymore. It's almost like, stories should have endings and conclusions built in. Oh boy, okay. Well, we can definitely say that I think I prefer the animated adaptation. Sorry, chat, if you don't know, this is a comic from 1993 where Static is wearing is that a ball cap, like he's in a gangster rapper group, and it has the subtitle, "You don't start none, there won't be none." And I'm just like, this cannot be any more 1993. I mean, he kind of is a young Black Lightning, but still, it's weird. And what is those wristbands?
All right, but I think that's enough on that. So let's move on to the last one, but not the least, which comes from Agent 418, who says, "Hello, Lucky Omega. Have a good weekend, y'all. Same to you, my dude. Thank you."
The classic.
The classic. All right, I'll close up mailbag here.
A certified hood classic. Sorry, the burp snuck up on me. It was weird. I must be drinking too much. I must be hydrating too much. But that means it's time for Caldea Free Talk. It's time to play our favorite game of which segment should we do first? Do we want to do So You Didn't Get That 5-star or the pregame? The pregame.
Well, let's do Juju first.
All right. Yes, it's a simple one. We're gonna do So You Didn't Get That 5-star Simping Yume Ran edition. We can talk about Jufu because she was a brand new permanent 3-star on a banner with a in-demand SSR. So also, as a unit, Jufu's pretty interesting. She's our only permanent alter ego and our only 3-star alter ego. Still, unless the wiki is very slow with updating. But yeah, I'm pretty sure our latest batch of alter egos was once again limited SSR. So there's no really stats to compare her to. She's the only one in the slurt. But yeah, that's where she's at, and she is, like I said, permanent after the Archetype Earth banner ends. She will be available in your normal banner and should also be in the FP gacha if you haven't got her enough to get all caught up on. She is QQAAB. She's got good hit counts and good NP gain. She's like 0.59, pretty solid. Her choice of NP is very odd from a game design standpoint. I'm not quite sure why they did this, but it's I would say normally that it's a support type NP, but it's not really. It's a selfish, non-damaging arts NP. Her NP gives her 3k to 5k HP immediately based on NP level. So, okay, she's a 3-star, 5k heal. Pretty solid for a unit whose maximum HP, normally is only 7k. Oh, no, sorry, 9k. I was reading her attack number. So, yeah, 5k out of 9k, pretty good. Though, admittedly, if you grail her all the way up to, level 100, it's, she's got 12,000. It's okay. It also gives her a buff to gain 20 critical stars per turn for 5 turns. That's pretty good for your team. But also, it's got an overcharge effect to recover her HP every turn for 3 turns. It starts at 1k and goes to 2k. So, an amazing longevity tool, but also, it's a longevity tool on a 3-star alter ego. So, okay, sure. It's neat, at least. And like I said, the 20 stars per turn for 5 turns is really good, but it's in an odd place. Her first skill is pretty good, though. It's a party-wide heal for 1k to 2k. It removes their most recent debuff and also gives the whole party 3 turns of 20 to 30% NP gain. Fairly solid one. Team-wide heals, team-wide, buff removal, debuff removal, solid. Our second skill is a team-wide 10 to 20% arts, 20 to 30% crit damage up, and a 20 to 30% damage up versus undead for 3 turns all. It also gives the current batch of enemies 10 to 20% crit down for 3 turns. Her final skill is a targeted 20 to 30% battery and a 50 to 100% buff removal resist for 1 turn. That can be pretty good if you know what's up. But also, if the targeted ally is Yume Ren, they get an extra 20% battery and also get 20 to 30% NP damage for 3 turns. Her passives are a variant of Territory Creation, which gives her arts up and also damaged NP gain up. Specifically, so she gets 8% arts up, which is a little low for an EX. But she does get a passive NP gen when being hit by 8% as well. And her NP charge on defense is 4% anyway, so pretty good. Pretty good. She also has item construction B+, so her debuff rate is pretty good for her, small handful of debuffs. She has High Servant D for no effect to let you know that she's a High Servant. She also has a very funny EX rank demerit. She has a 500% chance to get 20% less attack against enemies which are Consort U. She always does 20% less damage versus Yume Ren.
I love it, personally.
No, it's I love when they do dumb shit like this, because it's like, yes, she's an alter ego. Hypothetically, you could use her on, regular Yume Ren, because that's an assassin. But it's like, you probably aren't going to do that anyway, so we get to do this funny stuff. And it does also work at NPC stuff in the future as well. So yeah, it's a fun one. I've heard a lot of people call Jufu budget Castoria. I don't think that's correct. I think Jufu is budget art supports in general. She has heals. That's something, normally you associate with, Tamamo for big heals and arts. She has debuff clears, though not as good a debuff clear as, Castoria or Jean's NP. She's got a little bit of arts up, but also a little bit of crit up, like Lady Avalon. She also has some star gen. She does have a targeted gauge. It's really funny for Consort U, and I do think that I've heard some people be like, oh, she's, why is she, Consort U support when she's art support? I mean, U has at least one arts card in both versions. I think it is actually just the one. But in general, her other buffs are not, bad. Giving you a turn of buff removal resist when maybe her skills are off, and also a possible, maximum of 50% battery. That's not terrible, and it improves her NP damage. It's funny. If you're using Consort U as your primary damage dealer or farmer, you are already doing a funny. So, the fact that her, arts buff doesn't do anything doesn't matter anyway. And in general, her other stuff does work. But also, it is, straight up, I also think much like her, permanent 20% attack down debuff, the fact that overall her synergy with you is terrible is also probably on point. So, yeah. It's cute, and I think that, like I said, giving you a 50% targeted battery and 1 turn of 100% buff removal resist and also 30% NP damage, not terrible. The primary thing you're going to use Jufu for is, I think she's an alternative to Asclepius, which is good because Asclepius is story-locked, though there is a banner coming up for him soon. Keep your eyes peeled. But her first skill, the 5 grains, is, that's a 2k heal, a 30% NP generation buff for 3 turns, and removes your latest debuff. That's every 5 turns. That's not a bad skill. It's not a bad skill. Perfectly functional skill. And I think the fact that, like, she gets to just cockroach out with a fucking 5k heal every time she NPs, that's very funny. Not very handy, but it's funny. So yeah, if you're looking for budget art supports, if you missed out on the double Castoria train, or, you know, you don't want to run the double Castoria train, God help you, you know, you're not going to go deep for that Lady Avalon. You've got other shit to roll on those banners. I think Zhufu is a perfectly useful unit. You know, it's a thing that I do regularly bring up in Wanted, though obviously I don't think it's as popular, is to mention the fact that, like, hey, you have low-cost supports, and this does actually matter. I think it's very important for stuff like advanced quests, where you don't get access to friend supports, and you have to use, well, you don't have to use all 6 slots, but you can use all 6 slots, and if you do, that's expensive. Costs a lot of cost points when you do that. But speaking of the art support revolution, let's move on into the Arctic Summer World specifically, pregame. It won't be too long, though we are cruising at a little over an hour here. But we will have a few things to say, because it's time, once again, welcome to a summer. It's a time-gated event with a points ladder. You should know what's up. But you only need to clear Fuyuki to participate, so very accessible this year. Once again, this will not be true going forth. Basically, next year's summer is going to tell you to clear LB6. The summer after that is going to tell you to go, like, clear LB7 and a little bit after. So I don't actually know how long the Ordeal Call prologue is, but, you know, it's going to be a thing. But wait, there's a twist. So in case you can't tell from it being called Arctic Summer World and knowing that Scotty is one of the summer servants, I believe this is a summer amusement park themed episode. And so you will not only have to climb your points ladder normally through drops, but you're also going to upgrade the Arctic Summer World, which will give you increased drops of points and give you other materials. To do this, you will need to clear little quest triggers, which are funded by Arctic Ice Blocks, which is a separate currency. So you're going to get bricks of ice, and you put bricks into the amusements to make them better. This will give you stuff. So I think I couldn't see for sure, because, like, there are some. It's very funny. On the Fate Wiki, there are some blocks of the mechanics which are just blank. They just show the graphic in Japanese and don't translate it. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if these are, like, timed rewards or just overall improve the amount you get via drops. So I don't know if it's more like a Yamatai Koku or not, but there are... Upgrading them is similar to your Yamatai Koku quests. It may also be a little bit like... kind of like your dog missions, but different, where you need to, like, spend some currency, get an upgrade, you'll get some mats out of it. Now, main story. We like to start at the top. You're looking at 8 acts, a prologue, and a 2-part epilogue. So, you know, roughly 11-ish parts. Plus, there is a quest to pick your welfare at the end. And there's no temporary welfare, though you do get to use them as story support, so you gotta go all the way to the end to get your Valkyrie. Keep that in mind. Completing the main story will net you 9 Saint Quartz, a free copy of the 3-star CE, a Holy Grail, and obviously your welfare. We've got some interesting collections of enemies, but because this is Fuyuki clear, most mobs don't go above, like, 50k HP, and many of them are much lower than that. We're talking about, like, they're going to be enemies in waves that are going to be, like, 15 or 20k HP. Baby stuff. You got some classic mobs, you know, you got some gazers, some dragons, some ghosties. You're going to run into some walking tree men from last year's Halloween event. And also, we've got new mobs. You're going to love it. One of these is, there's a couple different kinds of rider class fish enemies. Literally just schools of fish. Some of them are made of ice, which is why they drop ice. And also, we got a new variant of Wu's torturers who drop chains and are sabers. But also, there's a fair amount of story-only pips here, so expect to do some reading. But yeah, no, I was quite surprised to see just, they're just like, Arctic fish. Oh, is it, like, weird? No, it's literally a school of fish. We do have some boss fights. I'm gonna abbreviate most of these, because it's not really a boss fight when there's one guy who's got, like, a servant with 50k HP and no special buffs. But there are a few. Just to like, let you know what's up, Act 1's gonna end up with a tussle with the Backspears boys and Bazette. You're gonna have to fight a lot of Lancers. They have some story buffs, but are otherwise sub 15k HP. Easy peasy. Literally nothing. Easy clap. But there is actually some funny stuff. In Act 2, you're going to have to fight some octopodes. One of them is going to have 555,000k HP, and you will be forced to do NPC support only with 3 different Valkyries. But you do get some unique Mystic Code abilities to use. So keep that in mind. Your final fight in Act 2 is a Nemo with 100k HP. Act 6, though, has some real fights. You gotta fight Wu and her cronies, and she'll curse you, like 100k HP. And you also have a Summer Gareth solo fight versus a guy with 155k HP. Act 7, no notes on the fights. I just want to let you know that Act 7 is, once again, we return to the tradition of punching abstract concepts. You may have to fight deadlines and plot holes again. So look forward to that one. Act 8 is our technical final act, and that ends with a Berserker boss who has 217, 176, and 305k HP, so real HP numbers, and 99 fish adds. The boss, the battle ends when you defeat the boss, so just fight the boss, not the fish. Also, in an interesting case, Epilogue Part 1 actually has a boss fight. You gotta fight 2 Alter Ego classed enemies. One has 58 and 105k HP, and one has 150 and 211k HP. And once again, Alter Egos, keep that in mind. The second half of the epilogue is the real epilogue with the Holy Grail, so yeah, you're fine. Free quests are all simple. They're all monoclass. Mobs are like 30k HP. Bosses are sub 200k HP. But we do have 2 high-level harvest nodes if you want to get a little freaky. The first one is 312. I will repeat that again for the people in the back. 312. The mobs are going to be like 50k HP, and the bosses are going to be 250k. And then there's one node to go even further beyond. No, she's got 100k HP. Her curse is like 300 attack, but it's on normal attack, so watch out for that. Also, I have to double check. She might do normal extra damage if you're cursed, but she's going to do basic attacks and like give you 300 curse damage, not 300k, 300 curse damage for like 3 turns. All this shit is baby tier. Except for the free quests. The final free quest node, the highest level free quest node, is a 111 node. The last wave, you have to fight an Enkidu with 1 million HP. So, most of this is baby mode. We have one for real fight in here. Yeah, no, these are the 90 like triple plus nodes. We got some crazy shit. There is a damage CE, but like this is absolutely like we're fucking challenging you here. Like I said, it's all 111, and the other one's 312. So we got some funny stuff. But yeah, if you want to go like the node below the 90 plus nodes, it's 333s and it's fine. Yeah, I think it's Lancers. It ends on Enkidu. I think it's all Lancers. And like I said, there's also a 312 if you want to try that one. I think that one's Berserkers, but actually it might be Archers. I gotta double check. But yeah, no, we got some weird stuff in here. Now to clear all these quests, you got some bonus servants. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. At your plus 100% damage and 50% bond. Don't ask me why I'm talking from New York right now. You got your Summer Valks, your Lady Avalon, your Ibuki, and your Scotty. Those are all plus 100% damage and plus 50% bond. Summer Gareth, Wu, Erise, Asclepius, Yang King, Doman, and also Archetype, Earth, and Mash, thank you, are 50% damage and 20% bond. They are once again doing the thing like they did last time with, or a couple times ago with Castoria, and I think they did this also with, our other anniversary moves with Koyan. Just, you're an honorary summer servant. Go nuts. And then, basically every other summer servant, including male costumes, are 30% damage and 20% bond. Also, a reminder, Mash is not actually 20% bond up. She gives your whole party 5% bond up. Also, during this time, your Summer Valks are double XP, double bond. Yay. This is important because, like I said, you don't get a temp version. You got to go all the way to the end to get them, so you got in there. Also, you are going to have these improvement quests. Like I said, they're going to take X number of your Arctic ice blocks. Sometimes it's like 20 per level. The highest level node is like 60 blocks per level. There's like 10 of these levels. When you do these quests, they will generate rewards like Mats, QP, and EXPs, and also they will increase your amount of visitor points generated. So every visitor point drop gets you extra stuff. Also, maxing out each attraction will unlock 5 mini scenario quests for some boss fights and some more SQ. So there's actually 5 more sync quotes in this. And then after the epilogue, you will find these similarly titled extra scenario quests. These will give you your welfare NP copies. So what is totaling up your visitors going to get you, you ask? Well, you got 6 million points to chew through, so you're going to want those bonuses with those Arctic blocks. First of all, you got a lot of QP, and I mean a lot of QP drops. You got mana prisms, you got apples, you've got 5 copies of the damage CE, thank God. And also, the 5th copy of the ice block drop CE. It's almost like there's no fucking reason for there only to be 4 in the store and point ladders. If you got a point ladder, there should not be only 4 copies of the CE. You guys put 6 fucking CEs in this point ladder. And they're not even like 1 every million, neither. But also you have mats such as spinal fluids, soaps, and pomegranates. Honestly, a little lean on the mats in the points ladder. It's mostly QP. But you do got all 3 of your command codes. You got 3 lores and 3 summon tickets are all up in here. So some pretty good shit. Now the shop, your shop, contains foes, EXPs like normal, welfare coins, all of your costumes, and mats such as void dust, bullets, homunculi, crystals, medals, fantasy scales, more ice, reactor cores, twilight blades, thank you very much, eggs, mirrors, 2 more lores. That's right, there's like 6 fucking lores in this event if you do the challenge quest. All 7 servant statues, once again, thank you very much for that, and ascension mats for your welfares. Do note, though, that buying your ascension mats for your welfares, buying their little berets, that does require you to spend Arctic ice blocks as well, so you're going to want to do a lot of farming of that. But luckily, there are 4 copies of that CE in the store as well, so you got to drop CE for that special one. There's 4 in the store, 1 in the points ladder. Keep that all in mind. There should be 4 sets of banners, 2 different sets of CEs. The CEs buff currency drops to the appropriate rarity accordingly. If for some chance this is your first time listening to a pregame, if this is your first time doing an FGO event like this at all, the 3-star CE buffs the... Buffs? Yes, buffs. Buffs the bronze mat. The silver currency is the 4-star CE. The 5-star CE gets you the gold currency. There you go. Now, your banners, with approximate timelines. The first banner is Lady Avalon plus Summer Gareth. Also, at the exact same time, the male banner should drop. That's going to be Doman, Yang King, and Asclepius. They're all over the rarity, so they all fit in. The second banner is Summer Ibuki and Summer Erisei. That should be about 4 or 5 days later. Ballparking. It was 4 days in Japan, but you never know with the way we do stuff with breaks. The last banner, Summer Scotty, Summer Woo. That's about 7 days later. And that's it, homeboys. Stay cool in summer. So yeah, pretty straightforward summer, but got some crazy bullshit in there. Fucking 1 million in a free quest. We're really challenging you.
All right. Well, I think that's it then.
Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled for everything. And like I said, we'll be waiting a little bit for Lucky to report out of his, but I gotta try for Gareth on that first banner, so we're gonna see what's up.
Yeah. Like I said, I am trying to have at least 1,600 St. Cords ready by the time we get there. I'm almost there. I'm at like 1,586.
Pretty good. I'm not nearly as stockpiled, but I have about 800 St. Quartz because I rolled for Zhufus and happened to get an archetype Earth in there, so I'm still holding my C's. And I should probably make sure to block out some more rank ups because they've launched a lot of them. I've been doing like a couple every day, but they're stacking up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, got a few topics in What's Up. Just some brief things to talk about. Let's see, where do I want to start here? Well, I made an allusion to it, so I'll throw it out there. Just a general thing, my current... I've been re-listening to some podcasts and some longer form Let's Plays during my daily, but the thing I'm doing when I go to bed right now is I'm currently back in my watching VTuber clips phase, watching a lot of clips. Some of our new Hololive ladies. I am currently very enamored with Laura Pantera because she is Italian and she's also a pink cat. But she is the Italian, and that's I don't know, that's kind of sexy to me. The Mamma Mia, Cuca de Pizza. No, she's great. But I'm like watching random blocks of like I think I got on the V Shoujo clips because of like cross pollination from Russian Badger clips because Heavenly Father, Heavenly's in both of those things, and so it's just crossed over into just like YouTube is feeding me like Iron Mouse clips and shit. Good emote, thank you, Robin. And also, like I said, I don't know if I'd sit down and watch like streams all the time, but Mouse is great. She won that award for a reason. But also, this kind of cross-pollinated me into some other stuff, which was I saw this through an Iron Mouse reaction, but I've also been introduced to a very classical YouTube channel. I talked about this when we were just like playing 14 yesterday. But I mentioned it. The YouTube channel Tipsy Bartender. And this guy just has an exciting, unholy energy. I'll share this with Patreon chat. By the way, supporters on Patreon and will get access to their Patreon section of our Discord. Chat, do you want to see the Purple Dragon or Hunch Punch?
Purple Dragon.
I know Lucky wants to do the purple dragon. I'll see what chat is. I'll probably fire both, but like this is just a point of comparison. All right, I'm seeing a lot of purple dragon. All right, the hunch punch is also important because that involves Everclear, but we'll link that one second. So yeah, now I should preface this. You're gonna see this and you're gonna be like, this guy's insane. So, this guy is a licensed bartender in California. These are usually like drink recipes for like catering parties and stuff. Not that you should care if people are wasting bottles of Everclear and vodka and tequila anyway. But he does use like fresh fruit and stuff. These are usually donated, but like this is fucking crazy ass shit. Like, look at this purple dragon, like punch he's making. We throw just dragon fruit in the bottom to make it purple as shit, and then he throws in like gummy candies, fucking, like I said, vodka in there, all kinds of shit. And it's just like, I understand what he's going for, but also like watching these also just gives me that visceral like holy shit reaction. The hunch punch is another one that's crazy as well. Because that's the I will link that one second. That's the one where he starts off by throwing 3 or 4 bottles of Everclear in here, which he calls literally when he puts in fruit to infuse, he calls it in the juices of hell. Not even the devil want to drink Everclear. I'm also not sure what exactly his accent is. It's somewhere in the Caribbean, but I think some people in the comments said it might be Trinidadian. I've known a few enthusiastic Caribbean men in my time, and yeah, he's got those vibes. So, like, he sells it. This guy fucking sells it of, like, talking about, homeboy, I'm gonna put in my Hawaiian punch now. And he's not joking. Literally, that's fucking high C Hawaiian punch goes in there, because it's a cheap-ass punch. But, like, it's such an interesting comparison of, like, he is so enthusiastic and down to clown, while he is putting the most unholy shit together, as he, like, throws Sour Patch Kids into a fucking refrigerator drawer he is filled with ice, Everclear, and, like, raspberry vodka. And I'm just like, this is a vibe, man. And, like, this one's been real brain poisoning me, just watching these, because it's like watching a train wreck. Specifically the Purple Dragon, too. If you watch to the end, like, he gets a little ladle, he scoops up a little, he has one little sip, and because I think his common outro is, please drink responsibly, don't drink and drive, and he's like, he takes a little sip of the Purple Dragon, and he's just like, ooh, really don't drink and drive on this shit. You're gonna drink this and take the day off. Like, and he's just had one little sip of a ladle of this stuff. I think I saw a comment that best described it as like, this is what the potion seller meant when he said you couldn't handle his strongest potions. Like, and I'm like, nah, you right, man. Fucking, this guy put a 5-gallon punch, 5-gallon water cooler jug full of what he called hunch punch, and it's got 3 bottles of Everclear and like 3 bottles of vodka and 3 bottles of tequila, I think, in there. And I'm just like, yeah, no, that's you can't handle that strongest potion. Yes, he did put Hawaiian punch, orange juice, and pineapple juice like straight up in there, and I'm just like, holy shit. No, that at least you don't gotta. Well, I should say that you don't gotta worry about this kind of punch. You guys might be making like the classical idea of sangria. But you don't gotta worry about, mostly because I don't think God has invented Everclear in this context, and we shouldn't actually have mezcal. I don't think I've explicitly stated, but I'm pretty sure maize doesn't grow anywhere near Troy Coron. You probably have something to do with distilled potato starch, but I don't know what our vodka situation is like.
Just seeing this man just empty bottles of alcohol is a thing.
Yeah, no, like I said, he's a professional bartender. He has ascended. He does the fucking thing where he twirls the bottle to get it to vortex, and I'm like, how did you develop showmanship for dumping bottles of vodka in stuff? It's crazy. And like I said, when he busts out, like, the fresh fruit slices, nice, good choice. The candy bags, I love candy. If I saw you dump a bag of Sour Patch Kids gummies in like an ice drawer, I would be like making the sign of the cross, right? And like I said, that's why this is so interesting to me to be turned on to these videos, because it's like he's selling it hard, but also it's like, Jesus Christ, this is the work of Satan. You've made something unholy. There's like a blue version of the hunch punch with like blue curacao and like blue Hawaiian punch. Man, I'm just like, damn, dude, that's evil. He made a 5-gallon drawer of like of what he called like swamp jungle juice. That involved Mountain Dew, so I know that shit is evil. Like, it's, like I said, he's got a great backlog. You should check this out, but only if you like watching train wrecks. If you want to watch, like, actual cocktail mixology, check out How to Drink. What part are you trying
I'm laughing at his champagne going, woo!
Yeah, 6 bottles of champagne. Also, by the way, champagne is the mixer. No, he's using the California version. It's the 60%. It's not the heavy hitting shit, but still, 3 bottles of Everclear. It's crazy. But also, yes, Lucky, you're right. I love the bottles of champagne where he pops 6 of them and he's like, whoo, whoo, 6 times in a row. Also, yes, champagne as the mixer. Let that one soak in. So yeah, this is like the fucking alignment chart of channels about drinking. Like, Greg from How to Drink is like, I know a little about like how people perceive cocktail drinking. This is just, and I think he says it when talking about the Hunch Punch, where he's just like, do you think I'm a calculator? Do you think I'm an abacus? No. You just got to figure out how big your container is. I can't tell you how much to make for a party of 200 people. And I'm just like, this explains everything. He is making punch drinks for big parties. Like this is catering like a company party, and you want some fucking. I think Iron Mouse said it best when talking about the Purple Dragon, where she's like, "This looks like some shit you'd see in a movie." And I'm like, "Yeah, no. If you want some fucked up party drinks, call this guy. This is not something you should consume at home." So yeah, no, like I said, this is something that clicked on for me, that I was like, I got to show this to Patreon chat and see them freak out a little.
No, this was pretty good.
Yeah, no, like I said, he's got a great energy, and I feel like his slang is starting to touch me. Talking, like I said, like a homeboy. He's very consistent. Great branding. But yeah, there's a couple of other things. Let's see, what am I going to hit? I want to say a couple of things and get Lucky talking, because I'm suddenly feeling peckish and I want to go grab some crackers and snack. I will say, I'm checking in with what Helldivers is doing. We did complete the X45 major order, and we're back on bugs. The stratagem that was released was the Commando rocket launcher.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't tried it out, but it looks pretty interesting. It's also pretty cheap. It's only like 8K rec slips. Don't know what the level requirements are, but it basically seems to be a side grade to the Eats. It is a 4-shot expendable rocket launcher, so you don't get to reload it like the Recoilless or the Spear. But it is a 4-shot laser-guided rocket launcher.
Oh, okay.
So,
it's not dumbfire.
Yeah, it does have some tracking. It's not dumbfire, so it's probably not going to be as godlike as the Spear versus like automatons. But for bugs where you can't like lock onto their holes or their big guys, actually you might be able to lock onto some of their big guys, but the hitboxes are weird with the Spear. Definitely seems like it's got some tracking. Like if you watch the little video, it actually like it shows the shot. The Helldiver kind of fires it up into the air, and then it's got the standard issue Helldivers 2 laser pointer. So the missiles track to that laser, and it's a 4-shot, so like it looks pretty cool. Might be fun. And yeah, I don't know where story is going from there, but yeah, got a cool little rocket launcher out of it. No new word on a war bond. I think they're doing that they're keeping their playing it slow, but we should probably get news about the next war bond soon. I don't know if we'll get a release date, but yeah, Helldivers is cooking. I'm still slowly making my way through Zenless Zone Zero's prologue. I'm probably going to go do that while this episode is baking in the audio edit, just to keep catching up. But it's a fun game. I was talking about this off mic, but it's very interesting to me how, like, I don't know if it's just, like, the medium of gacha games in general, or if it's just, like, the tone that MiHoYo is going for with Zenless, but, like, actually, no, I think it might be a deliberate tonal choice, because I remember I did actually play, like, the first couple maps of like, Nikkei before I uninstalled it from my phone, because it was not running very well at the time. That one also starts, like, super intensely, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like a lot of gacha games, like, even FGO does this with the way that starts, but, like, a lot of gacha games have very intense intros that are like, holy shit, you're gonna die. Look at these characters, it's all terrible, the world's on fire, and, you gotta play our serious game. Even though, like, arguably the stakes should be pretty high because there's, like, fucking hell portals and extra dimensional people monsters in them, it seems pretty relaxed,
Well, I think that's the thing with a lot of gacha games is usually they put you in the middle of, like, basically your worst day of the fucking year. A la, a Harry Dresden.
Yep.
People have been living in, like, even in a lot of these gacha games, people have been living this life for a while, and there's plenty of people who have, a functional life. It's just, for some odd reason, we're picking the person who just seems to have the worst day ever, and guess what? You're the protagonist, and that's the protagonist.
And Zenless does not do that. The protagonist character is a normal professional human. I don't know if they're adults because anime art style. They seem, like kids, but they are small business owners. So, in addition to their side gig, doing stuff, but it's definitely just like as like Phaeton, that this is just a normal office day. You already have a pre-established relationship with the Cunning Hares, and it just happens that like Nicole calls you up and is like, "Hey, I got some fucking shit. I need you to do some stuff. Please help me." And you're just like, okay, yes. The money? Pay me money. And like you just go about your business. You get your scratch-off tickets from the dog who runs the corner stall. Love that guy. You go to the noodle shop, shit like that. It's very interesting. I do think that like on the one hand, that kind of like lower stakes feel makes me want to come back to the game and keep playing it because I'm like, it's pretty normal. But also it's probably why I haven't been like dramatically sucked into the story and like blitzed the entire prologue,
Yeah.
But I've been blocking it out. I actually forgot to put this in my notes, but I think I want to put that to a decent comparison to one of the other 4 video games I've been playing, because still playing 14. Also, a new card pack dropped in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, so I need more gems. So I'm playing that. I need more currency so I can make a new deck to actually play a new deck with new cards. It's, the eternal currency treadmill. I've actually been trying to plug away at Zenless. But also I did something that I alluded to I might do a while ago. I actually reinstalled Elden Ring and played a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Previously my time was about, I think it was like 15 hours, and now my PlayStation is telling me we're at about 20-ish hours, so I got a few hours in over the past whole week. And it's very interesting to actually get back into it. I will say, like, talking about FromSoft games, and just their design vibes, I definitely don't, speaking of the target audience, I definitely don't think I'm ever going to be the perfect target demographic for these games because I love their story, their world building. I won't say exactly I love their storytelling. I like a lot of their storytelling, but I have another point about that as well, about how the games are also kind of dark and miserable for just cause reasons. But then the gameplay's all right. I will say there's something about the control setup that feels weird to me. I can't tell you how many times, part of it I think is because I've been playing Zenless, but also just in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, this is like an action game. It should be square if I want to give a guy a little boop, right? No, square is drink flask or do other things. And I've wasted a couple flasks that way because I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I want to, break this barrel or give this guy a little love tap. That's definitely square, right? No, it's R1. But yeah, it was interesting to me to like really showcase Elden Ring's open world stuff because I did not log back into Elden Ring and immediately go beating my head against the highest level areas I could access. I went back to the starting area and like started poking guys I ignored at the start because they would have wrecked me. So I like fought the first tree sentinel. I fought Flying Dragon Agheel, got a dragon heart. And I was like, okay, no, this is pretty functional. I did put a decent amount of time into leveling for future areas. And so I'm like, yeah, okay, that was fairly easy to learn a lot of those fights. I am still at the point where I'm like, oh, but getting enough runes to actually fucking level up sucks, which is also double sucks because I'm a weird, like, I poured several levels of points into Vigor because that's what you do to get more HP and not die. But also, like, man, I want to do magic, but if I want to do dragon sorcery, that's arcane and faith. But if I want to do carrion sorcery, like my Beirani, that's int. So it's like, man, do my fucking level ups have to logarithmically increase, man? It sucks. I am actually experimenting with magic, though. It's fun. I finally got a staff I can actually use. Yeah, I can... I don't know if you can infinitely respec. I think you need to do a consumable. I don't know if you can make it. But yeah, I have to beat Renala to do that. So, Raya Lucaria was kicking my ass. So, it's... We'll get there eventually, but it is rough. But I have been going back to some previous areas. I will say, though, that, like, there's still a lot of FromSoft horseshit, guys. I cannot perfectly recommend these games. Dear From... When I get ranged attacks, can I get to free aim? Can I free aim my ranged attacks? Because my enemies sure seem like they can free aim. Because enemies with ranged attacks still suck ass. Not really bosses. Usually those have, like, scripted areas to make you safe. Maybe with longbows. I have, like, a crossbow. I think that's my only ranged weapon I have. I cannot free aim that. Or at least I haven't figured out what button combo that is. Not even, like, double-handing it. But, like... Just normally grabbing ranged weapons doesn't seem like you can freeball aim. I don't think you can free aim spells. And normal ass ranged mobs, they suck. They're terrible. I ran into some forget what they called it. Are they the Ancients? They're like the big burly dudes wearing deer masks. I ran into some of them in the foothills. One of them had a great bow and could fire at me from like a fucking mile away with no way for me to really clap back. And I thought, oh, I'll just ride my magical gazelle up and clap him. No. On the ridge, there's 3 of those guys waiting for me, so that shit sucked ass. Had to run away. And then another design element which sucks. I fell into a teleporter chest trap. I did dodge one of these later, so I'm not sure if I just like didn't move far enough away the first time, or if it did kind of animation lock me. But I got into a teleporter trap into a pit full of weird centipede guys who shoot fucking homing spike lasers. Why? Also, there are 2 of them in that cave. That guy sucked. Had to run away from those assholes. Yeah, pests. They suck ass, and I don't know why they exist. Yeah, no, because I got teleported by that chest into Khalid. No, I'm not gonna enjoy Khalid, but nobody likes Khalid. That's the point. Which is like yeah, FromSoft still has some design decisions that suck butts. So, like, it's not perfect, but I have been having a time just exploring around. I do want to say, like I said, their storytelling also, though, is, like, grim for no reason, and I kind of hate it. I finally explored, like, a low-level area and ran into a lady named Irina, who's, like, blind, and she's like, go deliver this letter to my father, who won't leave this castle full of guys that hate him. And you go to the castle, you kill a shitload of guys, you hand in the letter, and he's like, well, I'm glad my daughter is safe. Please tell her I will not abandon my duty in the castle. I must defend it. You go back, and you know ahead of time, because her NPC icon is just gone, she's dead. She would not leave her safe spot, which wasn't safe, even though she told me the rebels have killed one of my companions. And she's just dead, and there's a cleaver next to her, and I'm just like, yeah, that kind of sucks. There was nothing I could do about that. The only way to keep her safe is to just not do her quest, but that doesn't do anything. She's just sat there forever. I guess I could have killed her myself and spared her the mercy of being killed by a giant cleaver, but that makes me a bad dude. And it's just like, it's just sad. It sucks. And I'm just like, man, why'd you do it like that? Especially because I know that you'll do it like that for some NPCs if they give me something. Because I found a random lady in a shack, and I was like, hey, I have a place for you to hang out, and you can learn about stuff. And now she upgrades my spirit summons. Yes, I'm using spirit summons. I don't want to hear any shit about I'm doing this game wrong. Fuck you. This game's hard. This game's trying to kick my ass, okay? Yeah, Roderico's great. Like, it's just one of those things. And, like, I because I'm, like, pre-spoiled on the game, I know that, like, how some storylines end, and I'm just, like, the shit with, like, Sorceress Selen is, like, your choices are, for an NPC who's, like, really popular and people like her, is, like, either you kill her, or she turns into a giant a sphere of rock faces. And it's just like, why? Why are this our only... I guess it's a lesson about fucking powers, but also, like, why? Everything's so weird. I think the literal only happy ending is, like, Ronnie's story. And even then, they tried to make it creepier in the English translation. Anyway, if I actually beat this game anytime soon, I'm gonna get the Age of Stars ending. Fuck you. I'm gonna get a Moonlight Greatsword. I'm gonna marry a puppet woman. And then maybe in like 2 years, I'll spend $40 on the DLC. But yeah, I've been playing a little Elden Ring. I don't know if I'll stream it at any point, but I could. I yapped a little bit more than I thought there. I think the hunger is making my jaw loose. I'm gonna go walk across my room really quick and grab a sleeve of crackers and eat some of them. While I'm getting ready for that, so Lucky, I was actually kind of intrigued by your note at the start of the mailbag, which was disregard First Descendant, play Snowbreak. So I would love to hear you talk about that. I will be physically away for like a half second.
All right. Well, I guess I do want to preface this saying, yeah, no. First Descendant, probably a good game, probably not for me. I have had like zero desire to actually keep logging in and playing it. Which is a little weird considering I do very much like Warframe, but I think it's because I love Warframe that I really can't get behind First Descendant. They're just too similar in ways, and I put a lot more effort in Warframe. I showed my favorite weapon off to the guys when I was talking about it. They were just like, holy fucking shit, Lucky! I was like, oh, I guess this is good. Like, I don't actually mean that as a humble brag, but, like, I generally don't pay attention to metas and stuff, but it's been, like, years since I played Warframe, so I was like, I don't even know if the weapons I got are good, and they're like, they're like, show me, and so I showed them, and apparently, no, it is still very fucking good. I have basically dropped the First Descendant. In its place, I almost want to say, I have started playing Snowbreak. This is made from developer, I believe, is Amazing Session Games, and it's basically just a third-person waifu shooter game. Now it is a gacha style game. You have to, you have to spend money, get currency, roll on banners and stuff. And honestly, if I was to actually say, I'd say actually it's probably a worse game than the First Descendant. But unlike the First Descendant, I wake up and I want to log in and play it. Which is a very weird kind of feeling. Knowing, understanding that a game is kind of sucks, but you're like, no, I'm here for it. So, in Snowbreak, you basically are trapped in a space station, wake up, and then are sent down to sent down to Earth, which has been, semi-destroyed by Titans. Big scary one by the name of Ymir, so we are pulling already a lot of the, North, mythology here, and, guess what? A girl saves you, and, you're the adjutant. So you gotta take command of this squad of misfit girls and find answers, solve problems. The regular, ass stuff that you would see in these sort of games. Talking about, those horrible days? You wake up and it's the worst day of the year? It's kind of that thing. So, like I was saying before, the gameplay, not anything really to write home about. It's a third-person shooter. Your girls have different guns, like you have pistols, submachine guns, shotguns, assault rifles, sniper rifles, and a crossbow. And there's only 12 to 14 girls total, but they have kind versions that let them use different elements and whatnot, which is all right. But unfortunately, when you get into combat, it's just a third person over the shoulder. You can get into cover and you can aim down the sights, that good old ADS, but you can't do anything like crouch. You can't do anything like crouch, can't jump. You can't, you can sprint, but it doesn't really feel like you're sprinting, just feel like you're kind of jogging faster, I guess is the best way to say it. But, there's just something about it which is very, oh god, what do I want to say? Brain dead. And I say that in the very, the best of way. I'm pretty sure if I wanted to, I could come up with, a whole bunch of strats and whatnot and stuff. But for right now, it is just very easy for me to get in and play, do stuff. It has a whole bunch of, little systems. There's those story missions, of course, which have little maps, which aren't very interesting either. They use a lot of open space so you can run around, but I think it kind of suffers in the details department. You can be in the middle of a city and things are very bleak. But I say bleak because while it does have some decoration stuff, there'll be wrecks around, they are very clean. It's all very clean. I think that's the best way. You don't really see detritus. If you see a wrecked car, it is just a car turned upside down. You don't necessarily see it crushed or tires on the ground or anything like that. So the environmentals are very minimum. Enemies are interesting. There are some varieties to them. It seems to be 3 factions that I have engaged so far. One seems to be the monster, the second seems to be the cult that worships the monsters, and the third seems to be the scavengers that don't want to live in the big authority that you belong to. And I don't know, maybe it's the waifuism in it, but not necessarily. But there's just something there's something about it that just lets me turn my brain off and play. As much as people like to complain that Triple Z it's too simple, it's not complex at all. I still have to think what I'm doing when I'm playing that game. In Snowbreak, I just turn my brain off and go shoot gun, kill thing, shoot the yellow bits.
Yeah, no, Zenless is definitely it's simple. You don't got a lot of buttons, but if you're not paying attention, you're gonna get punched.
And so, again, I don't think I can necessarily sell Snowbreak to anyone. I think it's free for anyone to really pick up and give it a try. It's not that big a game. Well, if they just hit their version 2.0, excuse me, and give it a whirl. But it's not. I don't think anyone else would really be that interested. It's just something fun for me to turn my brain off to and continue to play when I don't got anything else going on. It's I can spend an hour, half hour to an hour, spend on my presents, because that's what they call the energy in that game, presents. Getting stuff to upgrade my girls, because like I said, like most gacha games, there's a lot of little systems to upgrade. Like you have the character themselves, then you have their weapon, which also has its own upgrade path because you can upgrade the weapon's level, modify its like you can limit break the weapon, and then you can modify the weapon on top of that. Then the girls each can have up to 3 logistic officers, which you can upgrade and modify. And then the girls have their own like abilities and special skills that you can each upgrade and modify. So there's a lot of fiddly bits in the girls themselves, which is fun, but means that you're doing a lot of running around and farming. And I just got automatically logged out due to extended inactivity in Final Fantasy XIV. I just realized.
Rip.
And
well,
queue's
luckily
probably
the
not
queues
that
are
big.
pretty normal.
Yeah. So, like, there's a lot of little fiddly bits, which generally I'm usually for. I'm always for fiddly bits. And something I do like, so I'm gonna let you guys know my eternal shame right now. So when I started playing Snowbreak, I was committed to being the free to play. Like the game's not so great that I wanted to spend money on it. But they were having a limited banner of a character that I really, really liked. I really like her. And so I was like, all right, I am going to spend what meager resources I have and try and roll for her. So first off, did like a few rolls. I spent them on the wrong banner. They have this little problem where they have their multiple limited banners. One is you get the guaranteed character in so many rolls. The other one is that you get just a guaranteed S rank in so many rolls, or is it A rank? I can't remember. But the highest in so many rolls. Then they have another one which is just more basic. Like I made like 50 rolls on 2 wrong banners, and unfortunately that made Lucky very upset that I wasted all the rolls. So guess what? I pulled out my fucking credit card and I was like, I spent like 2. No. I have to correct myself. I was planning on spending money anyway, but so I wasted like $100 on getting that character, and this might have put me into the sunk cost fallacy of playing this game. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, no, I immediately broke my my free to play stance on this game. S ranks is 5 stars in ZZ. Well, I'm talking about Snowbreak right now. So I can't remember because they have gold, purple. Wait, they have the gold, purple, blue, greens. So that's what SABC. I don't know. So I might, like I said, I might be in the sun call for Snowbreak, but despite that and me starting this game kind of freaking mad, it's something that I still enjoy, which I think is important. Like First Ascendant was okay, but like I said, like very quickly in the game, I was finding myself running up into a brick wall, which I wasn't entirely sure what I was supposed to do. Was I supposed to start partying with randos? Like, cause that's something that you can't do to me to a game. If it's okay if you want me to play with other people, but if you force me to play with other people, I'm going to lose interest almost immediately. It's like, and First Ascendant was kind of doing that to me, so I was like, no. So I think that was a big reason why that kind of petered out for me, especially with the fact that it's a looter shooter. Yep. Lucky doesn't necessarily mind looter shooters, but I'm also one of those people who like I don't like oh, excuse me. I don't like tossing a weapon 5 minutes because I found something just incrementally better. Like I really don't like doing that.
There was a lot of that First Ascendant.
Yeah. Like, let me find a weapon. Like, I do think there was ways to upgrade weapons to maybe your current level, but the fact that I had to level up my characters, then level up myself, and then level up my weapons to be on par with myself kind of threw me off there. Like I said, combat, like, in First Ascendant, combat was nice, visuals was nice, environments were nice. Sorry, I was trying to think of the word environments there for a second, I couldn't. And like I said, I had a nice little chunky system to Warframe, but again, I was in the second map zone trying to do the defense mission. I couldn't do it because they keep summoning these dudes that would 2-shot the fucking generator I was trying to protect, and I could never take him down fast enough to stop them from doing it. I tried that mission like 5 times. Happened the same way every single fucking time. So I was just like, okay, clearly I need to have at least a second dude here to help me with this. And I'm like, great, you are trying to force me into multiplayer situations I do not want to be in. Thank you, goodbye. And like First Ascendant has done nothing like that so far. Like I have seen some multiplayer components where you can enter a mode where you can join with people, but they also say you can do this completely by yourself if you want to. And so I'm like, just like sick. So while I definitely think that Snowbreak is probably like less polished and probably is not as visually rad as other games like First Ascendant and whatnot, it is still something comforting to me to play. And I'll probably be playing it as long as it feels for me that I feel that I have made up the fucking like $100 that I wasted. Let me see. Wait, can I find a gift for the girl that I was like, oh no, I need her? Let me see here.
Well, yeah. While you're looking, yes, no, that's definitely like I have played some dog ass games just because I'm like, yeah, I can play it. It feels easy. I can kill fucking an hour this way. Sorry, basket.
Okay, this is her in one of her costumes, but this is her, Katya.
Yeah, no, I see. But yes, like, yeah, no. Even if like I and the other people in the audience may not necessarily get Snowbreak specifically, there's definitely like some of that like just comfortable action with certain games. Like there are games I've played where I'm just like, yeah, I can just play this and lose a couple hours. Like honestly, I think like an example of that is I talked about this before, but like Titanfall 2 multiplayer, I'm having a bad time. Lucky core, great adjective. But I'm out here having a bad time when I'm like, fuck man, I've reinstalled Titanfall 2 and I've been playing Titanfall 2 multiplayer on my PS, 5. Like, I mean, it's the PS4 version, but you know what I mean. Like, that is a game that I can just, even though obviously, as a counterpoint to what Lucky said, that's a game you're playing, online with people. But people do still play it, and there are also bots, and it's just like, yeah, that's a game where I'm just like, man, I just want to run around and like grapple hook and shoot some guys and maybe turn into a giant robot for like an hour. Boom, Titanfall. Like, and there are other games I've had like that where it's just like, yeah, man, we just gotta spend some time.
So I've been putting Snowbreak has been pretty rad. Like I said, I'm juggling a lot of gacha games right now because yes, I am actually still playing Azure Lane. Nothing's really happening right now because they just announced their priorities. Their priority 7, their 7th group of priority research ships. So we're on that jazz right there in Azure Lane. So this is perfect for it lets me build up my
cubes.
Yes, thank you. Builds up my cubes for whenever they bring back what was it called? A Bismarck's Y in that event. Because that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a certain Ironblood event to be rerun so I can go in all in it. But yes, I'm still playing Nikkei. Actually, I don't know if you realize this, but I actually kicked someone out of the Discord server the other day. You can see it in the audit log. I have decided.
Did not notice, but
yeah. Lucky is making a stance right now. I am enforcing talk shit, get hit.
Was it me? No, Robin, you're still here.
No, see, Robin, when you talk shit, I feel like you're doing it from a position of jest and jolliness. So I'll be like, oh, Robin, you little shit. I'll slap you and you move on. No, this person did the thing where they said something I didn't like. I said, hey, you said something I didn't like. This is why you're wrong. And then they said, no, I'm fucking right, and I'm not gonna fight about this. I'm like, yeah, because it's not gonna be a fight. And they consider to talk shit, so I decided to end this fight permanently. And I'm going to be taking this stance more often from now on. Like, too many times I'm seeing people here start arguments for the sake of arguments and then try to act like they both have the high ground. I'm like, neither of you have the fucking high ground. You're fighting over the internet. It's like, I don't mind when people have differing opinions and they want to, argue it out. But once you hit a certain point of circular logic or being just being fucking petty, it needs to stop. I am a bit of a hypocrite about this because I am bad about internet fights, but at least I kind of recognize that fact. Some people are sit way too fucking high on their high horse. Also, no, it is not Legendary. As much as I honestly fight with Legendary on a semi-regular basis, but I never, again, it's one of those things I never feel ill intentions from Legendary from it. It's like, it's one of those very specific things. Like, if I don't know how to explain it, but it's just in the way that people type or they talk to me, I'm just like, all right, this person, just believes in what they're saying and not being a real asshole about it just to be an asshole. It's just they actually believe in what they fucking say. Or in like Robin's case, they're just being a little shit, but it's all in good fun. So it's like, it's kind of like, it's a little hard to explain, but it's just like, no, I'm done with little shits who are just being little shits.
I mean, you know, I shouldn't talk shit. This is something that I think only Loth noticed, but literally on Tuesday, this happened in my Master Duel stream, where I was streaming Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel because we had a couple people down, and I didn't want to do Fail Betrayal, with just me and X, or maybe down. Like, it was just a scheduling thing where I'm like, I feel like some people have missed some episodes. I could run it back with just two people. We've done that before, but I think being forewarned that I know for a fact a couple of people are gonna miss, I should just do something else. So I just streamed Master Duel for like a couple of hours. But there was a guy who came into my fucking YouTube comments and was like, hey, duel me. Are you scared to duel me? Do you want to duel me? Are you scared? Is that why you're not responding? And I'm not looking at chat because I'm fucking using 200% of my brain to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Against other humans. And I just look over at chat and I see this and I'm just like, cool. Hide user from channel. And just like that, the yapping was silenced. And I'm just like, yeah, no, like, we got rules and stuff, and I think there's I don't know if anybody actually reads the Google Doc I made for the rules quite a while ago now, but I've updated it, and I think that you have to verify you read the server rules to join the server and shit. But like, I'm pretty sure one of the sublines in like our general "don't be a dick" rule is like, hey, like, don't start fights with the mods. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. Like, I don't.
Well, no. To be fair, I started the fight with them. This is why I say Lucky's a hypocrite. But I started the fight with them because this person started their conversation is like, man, I'm glad this person has a bomb collar around their neck and they deserve it. I'm just like, hold up.
Wow. Also, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's not that you. I don't mean that in the sense of the rule that like you started the fight with them by calling them out for saying something that's like, wow, okay. Because honestly, there are some people in our Discord server who feel free to tweet such opinions in our Discord server. Don't ask me how that works. And just like have no repercussions. And I'm like, man, I don't want to start shit in my own server. But also, like, sometimes you just gotta be like you just gotta point the gun and be like, okay. But no, the part where you're saying after is that they talked shit after the fact. You know, like yeah. You're just like, hey man, I don't agree with that. And they're like, well, whatever, I'm right, shut up. And it's like, okay, all right. You failed to understand the context you're in. Wow, a classic, an old school. But yeah, no, it's just like, just like,
like, I know, it's one of those things, like, there's a fine line you have to tread. And I try to give, like, there's a lot of people who say things I don't like in the Discord, and if people say enough with them, I just block them and I move on with my day. You know, that's 99% of the time, that's what I do. But just once in a while, it says something, I'm just like, okay, I cannot let that slide. And sometimes it escalates. So I don't expect this to be happening too far in the future, but you are all warned. I am a tyrant, and I will throw around my power as I see fit.
And listen, I just want it to be known. There's some people I don't care for in this Discord, but they talk with other people and not me, so they're allowed to stay. And I'll let most of you wonder if it's you. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm squares with most of the patrons. You guys are, but if you guys are nice enough to give me a number of American dollarinos, you're probably all right. Not always, but I think most of them are good. So everybody listening in the call is fine. But yeah,
no. Because it is one of those things that, like, I try to tell people, you don't have to get along with everybody. You don't. Some people you just don't jive with. But we are in a public social space, so you need to at least be able to tolerate them and be courteous to them.
Yeah, and if
like,
this is what shit get hit, like that's the thing where like I don't really want to. I have no wherewithal to call it out anyway. Like I said, I just did the same thing in my own fucking stream. That guy could have been a future YouTube sub, you know? He could have watched 10,000 hours. He probably wasn't going to do that. He was an asshole. He was being a little shit in YouTube chat. But, like, that's such an important part of our current social media climate is learning to block people and move on. And if people try and get in your face, sometimes you got to forcefully remove them from your face. I think our society would be a lot cleaner if people were much more willing to practice, like, social hygiene, I guess, and just like, hey man, if somebody's harshing your buzz, they're getting in your personal space, they're rustling your jimmies. You got to realize that unlike real life, in social media, you don't have to be inside that boundary. You can step away, you can block them out, and you can just be like, nah, I'm not going to engage. And then it's like, that we would all probably be a lot less pissed off and more healthy. And some people are going to be like, sorry, I coughed in the middle of trying to do my whitey internet voice. They'd be like, oh, yeah, man, the echo chamber, you're your personal bubble, man. I'm like, everybody already lives in a fucking echo chamber. People on social media don't believe shit that's true. There are factual facts about our universe that people deny. And people have honestly probably denied factual facts for a long time, but like, it's really bad right now on our social media where it feels like the fucking whole universe can be at stake at any given time, man. It's probably not that bad, but there are times when it feels like it's that bad. And it's like, yeah, no, fucking fine, stay in your bubble. People are already in their bubbles. Just like, if somebody's being like dog shit to you, just ignore them. I understand. There are times I see people, I follow on Twitter who do this. There are times when you feel you gotta clap back. That's okay. Everybody's entitled to that feeling. But also just fucking, like I said, just social hygiene. Block and move on. Get them out of there.
No. So...
Loudly, crisply crunched my cracker.
Crunch. But yes, I do think people need to, like... I said, how dare you? I'm dirty. God, I should probably... I don't know. Maybe I will go play. Like, I've already used my snow break. Let's see. I still need to play Nikke, Azure Lane, and ZZZ.
Well, we'll be getting out of here soon. We've crossed the 2-hour threshold in the Raw. There's only one thing I wanna throw out for the people at home and to bring up to the persons as well, which is, and obviously I want to leave it open if you got other stuff to say. But if you're saying you want to move on to other games, I think we might be running out of those topics. But that's so it took about 2 streams like I thought it would, but finished Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus this Monday. Had a great time.
Nice
great
job.
Games. Hope they port more. We got a lot of other fun stuff there. But that once again leaves us with the classic dilemma. What do we stream on Mondays? Because I did double check, and the new Power Wash pack is a premium DLC. It's like $7 to do Alice in Wonderland.
Meh.
And I'm kind of like, yeah, nah. Oh, I mean, yeah, I want to do 2 and 3, and I will absolutely do them. But I would much prefer to do them in the if they eventually, and I hope they do, bring them to the PS5 port. Because like, I don't have a PS3 or PS2 that works to like run them anyway, and I'm pretty sure because they're PS2 games, I could find functional emulators. But yeah, no, you cannot download. That's why Sly 1 was such a breakthrough. You cannot get Sly 2 and 3 right now. They were only released as the PS3 port or the PS2 versions, and I don't think you can get them at all. I'm pretty sure they don't have PS2 classics. I appreciate the selection for Jak and Daxter. We've talked about that. Those all have technically PS4 ports. We've talked about doing a Jak run. We greatly appreciate Jak. We could get started on Jak. Let's see. I believe, Lucky, you said before you personally prefer the Jak 2 side. A little more comfortable with that game. So I could do Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy. That'd be another game that I think would take probably 2 streams to do.
Also, I do want to say, Daxter did come out, so we could get even more Jak and Daxter.
Oh yeah, no, there's much like our Metal Gear run, there's quite a lot of Jak and Daxter to get into. I think you can literally play the entire franchise, including the Jak X, which is a thumbs up, but also the Lost Frontier, the 4th game nobody wanted. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. Probably somebody wanted it, but Naughty Dog didn't make it, and nobody really wants to go to bat for that one. And Jak and Daxter does have the benefit of I already own 4 out of the 5 of those games. I don't own Daxter yet because it just came out, but yeah. So we could do Precursor Legacy. I did say I could try and do it in one whole sitting. I don't know if I would do that on Monday night. That would require pre-planning. Like I said, I could try and do it in one whole stream. I don't know if we want to do it that way. We haven't really hit any milestones to run it that way for an elongated stream. I think that's kind of why I've saved Jak and Daxter. We could just stream it normally if people want. Like I said, probably me do Precursor Legacy, and then if we were continuing the franchise, Lucky do Jak 2, because I know, like I said, you are much more familiar with Jak 2. I remember Jak 2 kicking my ass as a kid. Not so much, I think, the second time I played it more recently, but yeah. And then, I don't know, do we switch off and I do Jak 3 and you do Jak X? How does that work? I don't know. We can figure it out.
We can figure it out, but I do want to say, I do think we might have some games on the backlog that we might want to consider getting through too, because we still got to do, what is it?
I believe we're up to X4?
X4, and then I'm trying to start, it's like Great Ace,
Great Ace Attorney, yeah.
Yeah, Great Ace Attorney. It's like, still haven't got through that.
We can do our next Ace Attorney case. Case 2, I believe we're up to, of... Shit, Chad probably remembers this better than me. It's been a while since I've gone through it. Is it 5 cases in the second Great Ace Attorney game, or 4? All of them I think are pretty good. It's 5, yeah.
I do know people are getting excited about the new games.
Mm-hmm.
So, don't want to necessarily, lock us out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling up to getting back to Great Ace Attorney, we could do... We talked about this when we did 2-1, probably doing it like on a case-by-case basis rather than try and marathon an entire game in one sitting, because especially Great Ace Attorney, those cases are long. So we could take a Great Ace Attorney detour.
How does Patreon chat feel about that?
Yeah, how do you feel about it? I'm sure they'll be excited, but I do want to hear it from their own lips, because I'm always down to clown for Ace, especially Gak. Gak's a good game. I just said that in my brain, and my brain just started playing like the big, the big like climax theme. Bum 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 bum.
Doesn't have very good music.
Yeah, I was about to say Legendary probably is okay with it, because that means he doesn't have to play X4. So yeah, we can...
Legendary, you should probably get an X4 so you can guide me as I inevitably scream and have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't actually know how long Case 2 will take, but we can... Yeah, you may still want to hit X4 up sometime.
Yeah, no, I say we do another case, hit up X4, and then move on to maybe like Jak and Daxter.
Or another long-running one that I was going to bring up. Sorry, I'm mid-cracker, but we're trying to wrap up.
Mid-cracker.
I'm hungry. Okay?
You hungry?
I'm hungry. It's been almost 6 hours since I had a bowl of ramen. Yes, there was chicken in it, but it's I only eat like 2 full meals a day, and then I snack a little.
That's why you gotta boil eggs inside of it. Add more protein. That's what I do.
So I have boiled eggs separately. I've thought about trying to put them into the ramen, because I eat the boiled eggs separately as another space or a snack. I'm not quite sure how to get them in the ramen, because I see people do like the smooth halves, and I'm like, how would I do that? Do I have like an egg cutterifier? Don't know. Anyway. Separate tangent. Another like big long game that we've talked about more recently, being like we should actually probably do like a full playthrough, is Okami as well, because it's well known how much of an Okami stan I am, because I work in Okami references to every single FGO wanted I can. But Okami is a classic game. But that's like I said, if we catch up, we do a Great Ace Attorney case, maybe do an X4 run. That'll probably take us a little while, because X4 is the first game where you can play as either X or Zero.
We might want to do a double run.
Yeah, I think the way I pitched this before is especially because that's how I remember playing it as a kid, is you would continue on your journey as X, and then I would probably do Zero, or we could double up and you could do X and Zero.
Nah. Yeah. Wait, do you have the game?
Yeah, I got it. I bought it months ago. I like the X games. Now, I haven't practiced X4 in forever, but I'll also have an excuse. God, sorry, my brain is my video game core memories. I just started thinking X4, and I'm like, oh man, X4's got some good music. That's when we moved to that 32-bit sound chip, PlayStation 1, and which Sega was that on? I don't know, but yeah, we'll keep it in mind. All right, so yeah, we'll do Great Ace Attorney Monday. I'll have to bust out the old thumbnail. Case 2 is a fun one, if I remember rightly. That's we finally it took them like a bunch of extra cases, but that one finally talks about the weird theater roommate that Soseki Natsume had. So we can finally get into that guy. All right, okay. I think that's everything I had to say. Any other stuff in the What's Up zone, Lucky, you want to bring up?
No. Oh, actually, Omega, did you actually... No, you probably haven't, otherwise you would have mentioned it. I did start playing Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded it. I have not actually fired it up. Like I said,
I'm trying to get I've been trying to get my Monster Hunter muscles back, but...
Yeah, I did the other weird thing, which is, like I said, I was like, let me actually... Can I fit and reinstall Elden Ring? Oh, I can. Should I play Elden Ring? I guess I'll try. And so, yeah, I have not actually fired up Rise. I still got it installed. And actually, that does remind me, July's games for PSN are looking pretty good. We've got No More Heroes 3 in there. I got a couple of other classics. The one in the PS Plus Premium catalog for free, but will also be downloaded, is they're porting to PS5 the tactical RPG Jeanne d'Arc, which is on the PSP.
Yep. Yeah!
So, yeah, seems like not like a perfect system, but Sony's definitely getting a little more gassed up about retro games and ports. We're seeing several brand new PS2 and PSP ports, which is good. But yes, we'll keep our Monster Hunter thing in mind for some other time. Especially because I strongly suspect that if Lucky and probably the others aren't interested in biting back on Last Descendant, I will probably not, because I have not booted out of that game once since we played it all at once that one time. It was fun, but it definitely is like a game that makes me go, man, I like games. I like other games in this game. Maybe I should go play those games.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I do want to. I don't think First Descendant is a bad game. It's just not my game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe we get some time. Okay, dokey. Well then, if we got all the stuff clocked out, let's wrap up in a lovely show. Get you on about your day. Tell you to go watch other content. Like I said, you can watch our regular streams. If you're not caught up on Great Ace Attorney, I believe that's a playlist. You can check out all our previous Stramos on the channel.
Actually, what's our time?
We're at just over 2 hours and 24 minutes.
Do you want to talk about Rain at all?
Yeah, we could. I was going to in a more abbreviated way talk about Rain, because that was actually where my plug was going. Funnily enough.
Oh,
you pre-segued me. I was going to be like, also watch Rain, because I did post episode 6. We're caught up now.
Yes. If you guys are wondering, I did want to talk about apologies about episode 5. That one got broken, and I am currently unable to fix it because in my effort to make sure I had enough space to make sure I can get the Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trailer expansion patch done, I deleted my video editing software thinking I'd be able to get it back. I have not been able to get it back. I don't know if maybe some license are expired or I misplaced something. I've been having a little bit of trouble. So I don't have a video editor at me, so I cannot stitch it together. So we only have the audio version of episode 5 out. That's why it took so long, because I was trying to figure out something quick and easy.
Yeah.
I'll just see if I can get the stock standard Windows one for the future. I'm not doing anything fancy right now.
Yeah, I used to make the video version of the audio, I used Microsoft Clipchamp. Just it's got some funny stuff. There's also some stuff I don't like, but for just stitching simple videos back together, it's not bad.
Yeah.
You also, everybody who watched that episode, do consider yourselves lucky. I decided to be restrained. Clipchamp did have a lot of very funny filters I could have used. I talked about I could have used a color shift. I could have made it a kaleidoscope or made it spin. I was just like, nah, this video is 5 hours long. I'm not doing that. I did just put a weird VHS filter over it though, because it's funny. But yeah, so we're all caught up on Rain. We're having a great time. I was actually I don't know if pleasantly surprised, but I was quite glad that you guys seem to have all taken to the time skip very well.
Yeah, we spent 2 hours just discussing what we did in the time skip.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how long that would take, but I knew some of you had some full plans. But yeah, everybody all together, it was half the session last time was just, hey, what did you guys do for 3 years? And I think it was all pretty good. We had some back and forth. And then, honestly, I think some of it was because we spent all that time discussing both on and off mic the time skip. But once I actually got, past that inch, it'd been okay, here's what's up. I feel everybody slotted into their characters, but older, really well.
Mm.
So yeah, we had a good time, and we'll be back to exploring some ruins this Sunday, hopefully.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things. We're still very rain pilled in the Secret Tabletop Cabal.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm still cooking lots of stuff. I started a separate doc to keep track of ideas for Monstrum stats, because for some reason I got it in my head that every region should have a particular normal type of monster they're known for, and then we get weirder shit. You guys got the wargs.
Wargs.
House Ache in the north has the Bearskarn. Evil bears.
Evil bears!
I did talk about how the Fogvale is home of demon boars, which are, by the way, supposed to be poisonous. They have poisonous bristles.
Poisonous bristles, Jesus.
Yeah, no.
Well, that'd be a good way to. That's a good defense against getting at, I suppose.
Yeah.
Don't eat me on poison, bitch.
But yeah, and I've been playing away sorcery, and I have, future plot hook stuff we're still chilling at as well. But yeah, I think we're having fun. So yeah, we're very like you said, very rain pilled.
Yeah, we're very rain pilled. Constantly looking at my character, being all right, what is going to be the next thing I'm gonna buy? Excited to go down these trains, excited to meet new people, talk to old friends. I will say, I do think we were getting into. I do feel like there was a bit of awkwardness in trying to get like something set up though. In the initially, I wouldn't say there was necessarily arguing, but there was a lot of like, no, we got to do this.
Yeah, I did. I mean, part of that is part of just how players work. But I did the classic triangle move where I put you guys in the middle, and I'm like, hey, I've brought up 3 bullet points. And, introduced some stuff for all of them, but some of them are very much open-ended, and it was definitely, there was, like you said, not an argument, but there was a debate about, okay, well, which of these should we tackle? Like, what is the most important? And I think there was a little bit of awkwardness in that discussion, but I do think it was important for your characters to all have it, because that is kind of, like, formative to be like, okay, we're getting ready, you guys are going to be in charge, you're going to be running the company, you're going to have a lot of people looking out for you, you're going to have a lot of, lives in your hands and money and shit, and it's like, what are our priorities, actually? And I think, in general, most people pass the sniff test of, like, having their mind in the right place, but also it was like, okay, but we're worrying about the thing that's going to take us the longest to solve, Spoilers in case you haven't, in, the 12 to 24 hours it's been out by the time you're probably hearing this public, if you haven't checked out the rain, it was a question of food. There's a possible food shortage on the horizon, and everybody is naturally going, well, that sounds really bad. But also, food is one of those things you cannot magically produce. Even though I did write a spell in Summoncraft called Many Loaves that does let you multiply food, it still requires you to have food to start. Also, it's an intensity 5 spell. It's really hard to make food magically. Don't eat the people. It's bad. It's bad for you. It's very bad for you. No, seriously, humans are not nutritious. But I think we got some fun stuff to talk about, like, your possible crafts industry and stuff. For instance, it's spring, so that actually means that if you want to talk about trade goods, it should be shearing season soon for your sheep and woolly goats.
Woolly goats.
That's profitable. But yeah,
well, honestly, I'm working. Like, yeah, Enos is most concerned about what we're gonna do for the Blossom Festival this year.
Yeah, so. You guys are very, very well. You at least, but I think most of the others are locked in on that, and we did spend a lot of time there, so it seems very natural. But I'm also like, you guys like really bid on that, and I'm like, ooh. We'll work with that. We'll have plenty of time. You'll have many NPCs to rattle out there. Yeah. I probably won't do the exact same format as the prologue, though. Most of you have had several years to debut yourselves and don't need to necessarily be hitting up contests.
No, I think like that was kind of a problem. I can't talk about everyone. I'm horrible with names. I'm very bad with names. I like having all these NPCs. I can't keep track of them to save my life. Like, I have to write them down, and I still get them wrong.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate, like, part of this genre and style is that there's a lot of fucking characters. This is why I link the Dramatis Personae document to every AP so people at home could follow, because it's like, I say a lot of names. I try to put them in the text chat if you're watching the video version, and so these guys can copy them, but it's all a thing, and, usually in my notes, I remember who's who, but there's definitely some fucking moments of scrolling where I'm like, somebody will be like, hey, Omega, who was that one guy from that one house who did that thing? And I'm just like, hold on. You just make the sound of me, like, flicking an ancient, like, library card catalog. Ah, yes, this NPC. Yes. It's some work, but we're having fun. We've now crossed 2.5 hours in the runtime. Raw, obviously. There are a couple of pauses. It's funny. I think, like 15 or 20 minutes ago, I wanted to actually bring up if there's anything else to talk about and start the outro, but I took a very long pause because my mouth was full of cracker, and then I think we jumped back on Snowbreak or something else. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. But that was there was like 15 seconds of silence. It's getting trimmed out at least there. Anyway, yes, Rain, good. Listen to Rain. We like Rain. I'm excited to get more stories out of you guys. Like I said, I got some lore, got some world building, and eventually you guys will get into the really fun stuff of making company roles. That reminds me, though, I should actually remember to type it as well, because I don't think how many of the boys are there. But I've debated whether or not I need to come up with a quick cheat sheet of, like, what company actions are, because there's a few of them, and I don't, they're kind of spread out in the chapter and in between, like, modifiers and stuff, so I don't know if everybody knows the, like, shorthand of, like, attack is, like, might plus treasure, defend is, I think, might plus territory, stuff like that. You guys let me know if you need that cheat sheet.
We might need a cheat sheet.
Because I don't think you guys would have been overeager, but I did put out that, like, there were opportunities for you to, like, get more info on some plot hooks and stuff, and like, I reminded a couple times, oh, you have access to your company stats now. Nobody really bit on those, and we mostly just like had the other discussions we talked about.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it is going to take us a little bit of minute to get kind of in that, I don't want to say macro scale kind of thing, but it is kind of that macro scale,
Yeah.
where we go out from, the individual unit and we go out to the city view and look at those stats,
And it's definitely one of those things where I think it's gonna be interesting when before I had you guys on like a very rigid day-to-day time scale when you were younger to like, you sometimes you gotta wait a month because that's your stats will get used up if you try to use them too much in a month.
Oh yeah, no, like I was looking at some of the abilities in esoterics. It's like you say over the course of a month. I was like, okay, so it's gonna take me an actual month to do this.
Yeah,
and other such things. So it is, but I do think it's probably a good idea that we start with a couple actually like concrete goals, and then we'll like branch out from there.
Yeah, I wanted to give you guys like some very solid like, hey, there's some bad stuff happening. You should do something about this, and be very very direct and like. Some are smaller scale, hunting a couple of, even if they're giant, hunting a couple of wolves is definitely like a personal scale conflict. Fighting a large body of highwaymen, probably more of a company versus company action. So, you guys will actually get to pilot those rules.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you should have plenty of time in your first block of the month to do company actions. And yes, I will probably scrape together a quick cheat sheet and either make it a separate Google Doc or just post it as a Discord chat.
I know you got a lot to write, but I think I would like to advise you against making a separate Google Doc. You have a lot of Google Docs.
It's true. There's a lot of tabs.
Right.
I mean, it would mostly be for you to check. I'll probably just write it up in Discord and paste it. Maybe I'll make it a TXT like I did with I cut out the description of Stone Hearth because people liked it. I often have many tabs in many Google documents when writing RPGs. This is true. Oh, hold on. It's just a minute to midnight, so I gotta go type the @ here. If you're in our Discord, I've been making sure to fire off our usual FGO alerts every time.
Yeah.
It's typed. When it says 12, I'll send it. But that probably means it is time to get on out of here. We've been at this for a little bit. We're doing the thing. So yeah, unless anything mysteriously comes up in the next less than 60 seconds.
No.
Was that a no aimed at me or at Robin?
At Robin.
Okay. I wanted to make sure. Robin asked if Lucky made his logins. And he did.
No. I was playing earlier, actually.
Alright, I've set the alert. And yeah, it's probably a good time to do the outro. Let me take a cool, refreshing sip of water first. Okay, outro. If you're... Sorry. Another classic. If you're watching this video on YouTube, like it. Subscribe if you're on YouTube for more. Leave a comment in the comment section down below, or join our Discord. Link is in the description. You can also ring the bell for notifications when we're posting videos or when we're stramming. In addition to the Stram Jam time, you can consider supporting the channel memberships. I know a lot of you got gifted memberships during our last live stream last week. That'll last you about a month. If you want to keep that up, click the little join button, get access to badges and emotes. Your name becomes green on live streams. That's cool.
And tickets get!
Nice. And you can consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get this episode early in audio format for as little as $1 a month, or approximately $10-ish a year, because it is a discounted price on annual memberships. And at higher levels, you can get videos like Wanted early, get access to topic polls, like Fanservant Friday, which I did remember to post today. Sorry about that. I've been heckin' Dawn Trail brained. Sorry. And rain brained. Like, my actions right now are made up mostly of, like, either thinking about Rain stuff or thinking about Final Fantasy stuff. And occasionally thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Things. That's very painful to my brain, though. Nice. But yeah, on Patreon, you can get access to some polls, some videos early, and our highest levels, you can listen to us record the show live every week in a little channel in our Discord. It's super cool. You can be part of the Peanut Gallery. You can be there when I'm like, chat, I do not remember a thing. Please remind me. And then you provide me with information, and I go, good job, chat. Insert the head rubbing gif there. You want that, don't you? Support us on Patreon. It's going to be it. So next week, like I said before, we should actually have our summer event be fired up. The first couple banners will be live, so you'll be able to hear, once again, this is your last chance. Take your bets, people in YouTube onlys, YouTube Andies. Take it in. How many Lady Avalons will Omega get before he gets a Summer Gareth? Historically, it's been very bad for me on summer banners with 4 stars. Thankfully, there's only 1 4-star to roll, so I can't get that kind of scoopled, but, we'll see. People in the Patreon chat are already taking bets. So tune in next week for more of that. Like I said, I will do some sort of wanted video. Let me know about your formatting choices. Would you be annoyed to see 3 short videos, or would you prefer 1 long video? Comments, they're open. And check us out. Like I said, we'll be going back to Greatest Attorney on Monday. That's it for me. Ciao.
Later, everybody.